Or not 29, sorry. 19 left.
Hi everybody,
500.
we're back. We're back. We're gonna try this again. Sorry about that.
Oh, I know. I see where the difference is. Okay, never mind. Yes, it's fine. Because I was counting the stuff.
Math is hard.
Math is hard.
Well, you don't know which bank accounts things are coming out of nowadays. I mean,
Oh God.
that's gonna be my next character after Mark kills me today. It's
I'm
going
not
to be a
gonna-
gnome.
Look, if you die, it's not because I'm killing you. It's because
No, it's
you
not.
got hit
I'm all for it. I like this. This is what
My
makes it.
patron warned us.
You got Rakshasa'd.
Yeah, no, I'm all for it. I think this is like what makes, it's a game where life and death is a real thing. So
Yes.
if you don't take it seriously,
You got Rakshasa sounds like a prank show.
That is the worst prank show ever.
I
The
will
funny
pitch
is-
that. I'll pitch that to my patron next time he speaks to me.
You should. You should.
Rakshasas would be really good at prank shows, except the pranks would probably be very deadly and cruel.
Yes. All right. I think we are in it now. I think we're good. I'm just setting up the D&D Beyond overlay before David yells at me for the third time. Pat, you in the channel? I don't even know. Are you in the chat? If you are, say hi. Let's put the right overlay on. If anybody's still in the channel, say hi. Or did everybody abandon us because of our technical fuck-ups?
no, you ended the stream.
I know I ended the stream. I was wondering if
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
came back
Yeah,
after
okay.
the stream
I don't know.
ended.
Find out. Slowly. It's
Oh, there's
trickle.
Nor. Hi, Nor.
It's back to 8, yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's see. What do we have going on today? Thing one, of course, when we hit 1,000 followers, Chris is going to give away a legendary bundle. That's thing one. That's pretty amazing. He's an awesome guy. He loves to give things to our viewers and subscribers. Next thing, subscriber giveaway. When we hit 50 subscribers, farboco.com, our sponsor, gives away dice. So if we hit that before the end of the month of December, we'll give away a second set of dice for this month. And then we have a contest going on for Draw Our NPC Sharp-Eyed. If you head over to the Discord channel, you can participate in that. Although I think everybody in here is a part of our Discord channel and knows about it already. Beyond that, having discovered in the last week that the maps were incorrectly gridded for the World of Origin, we realized that some of our travel times were off, and therefore dates will change slightly for some of the campaigns, which may or may not be of interest to you, but I will post that information in the Discord in case it is of interest to you. All of that being said, you are in Riverdam Raft. You have been here for several days now. You've executed, or at least executed your plan to rid the town of the false mayor successfully. You have let's see, what else have you done since you've been here? You ordered some supplies from a ooh, thanks Nat30s. You guys are the best. You ordered some magical supplies from a halfling artificer who goes by the name of Martimus Crenshaw and his buddy Rusty. And that was a couple of days ago. You had met with the Dragonborn and the mayor and set up the lopsided treaty, which will permanently indenture the mayor to the Dragonborn forces that have floated up under the city. And so, Having done that, it's been a day. Vespasian, the day after the fight with the Rakshasa, you awoke and you had horrible visions of just terrible things happening. The following day, you still had the same visions, but you were able to steel yourself against them, at least for the first couple of days. By the time you get the first set of magical equipment, the enchanting done, and the cost of the barrel of holding back from Martimus, you have suffered at least a level of exhaustion at that point. Your ability checks were halved at that point. Not your attacks or saves, just your ability checks are at disadvantage. You find yourself just haggard, unable to focus, irritable, everything that comes with a lack of sleep for 3 days. The rest of you may have started to notice then. But the following day, when the archers arrive to meet with you, to be sent where you need them to go, by that point, Vespasian, you are dragging. Your speed is halved. And therefore, you are moving slowly, meandering, and have a total loss of focus.
Vespasian, are you sure that you're ready for this meeting? You could just go back to bed or something.
I think. Yeah, I think I. Are you sure you can handle it on your own?
I'm just telling them to head to Ridgeford, and then we'll catch up with them after we get all of our stuff. It's pretty simple stuff.
Okay, I think I'll lie down for just a little while. Make sure to inform me when it's done of what was said.
You should probably stay in bed until we actually end up leaving. You look like death.
I don't know why I haven't been able to sleep for the last several days. I don't know what's come over me.
Several days.
You might have said something before now.
It's
You're not
Talon.
sick with something?
At this point, it's been like 4 or 5 days since you've gotten sleep. Or since you've been able to trance properly without these horrible visions keeping you from resting.
Look, that's... I'm guessing here, because I don't really know much about how elves work, but between Reyna and Merrick, losing several days of sleep seems a little weird.
My
That's
medical
immortal.
prognosis is that you should probably sleep. That's the extent of my understanding of this situation. I think this is bad.
I think he's sick with something.
I'm trying, but I'll
Before you go, let me try something and see if this will help you. As a ranger, I've been taught lots of healing magics that we use in the wild. This might help, and I'll cast Lesser Restoration.
Can you pop
This
that in
now,
the-
yeah, it probably won't undo the thing, but I don't know that.
Sure.
yeah. Yeah, and at this point, Vespasian's at full hit points, just to let you know as well. So there is no more wound.
Yeah, it's not a hit point heal. Lesser Restoration is meant to cure like poisons and diseases.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying in general, like,
Myself and Talos had wondered if the
You touch a creature and can
had
end
poison.
either one disease or condition afflicting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. So no, that will not end it.
let's be greater.
Yeah. Or remove curse.
Yes.
Yeah, you need a greater restoration to get rid of this.
At this point, the party's just trying literally anything we have to see if it does anything.
Well, this seems to have no effect. He's still dealing with a couple levels of exhaustion, and you can see it on his person now.
All right.
I-
Look, go get some rest. If you're not feeling any better by tomorrow, then you should probably go, I don't know, talk to the priests or something. See if they can, like, check up on you. They do medicine shit, don't they?
Maybe that's
Not all.
maybe that's a good idea.
I'll take you across to the priest of Robin if you can't sleep, if you're not any better by the morning.
If you want to cuddle with Flame Boy, it might help. And she holds up her fire elemental.
Boy. I
That's-
think I think I'll be
Sure.
fine. I have
During the night, Marek had snuck into Nethy's room to swap his wolf and pinched the reindeer instead.
Yeah, actually, out of the reindeer. That's great.
No, I'm fine. I think Captain Zarket is enough company for one evening.
Oh god.
I will see you all in the morning.
I can't wait for Vespasian to actually meet Captain Zerkat. The real Captain Zerkat. Oh, good god.
Okay. So try resting. That doesn't work. Go see the priests.
That may be a good idea. I'll see you all in the morning. And then with that, Vespasian's gonna hobble back off to the
To the end.
dancing box. Yeah,
Okay.
sleeping box.
Pollock
Sounds
like looks to
good.
the sky for a moment and shrugs his shoulders. Why do you send me a companion that gets sick?
Who are you
I
I
talking
think it was
to?
exactly his fault.
Morgan.
I love that Rain is asking that question.
Yes.
I know.
You talk to people. Don't judge me.
Weren't you judging me?
No. I'm literally the least judgmental person. I can't judge people. I'm me.
That's a fair assessment.
That's all right. Fair enough.
I think you were judging that other Dragonborn last week.
Yeah, I think I had that right though.
True.
Where you're staying at the Dancing Fox,
Yeah.
and the you head up back to your room, or you head over to your room, Vespasian, to get more attempted rest, settling into your trance, and once again being bombarded by these terrible and awful visions of your family being enslaved or murdered, your people scattered from the ancient forest, the forest being burned by demonic fire. Just all of these terrible images that haunt your sight as you attempt to enter into a state of rest. In the meantime, the rest of you in the common room are sitting around. Nethy, you can't touch the tic-tac-toe board, but you can play it if you'd like. I don't know how you're feeling towards Reyna yet, but things have been a little rocky in that regard. Kolak, as you look to the door when it opens, a squad of halfling archers enter the room. A group of them together, led by a familiar face. Wilhelmina's mother is leading the squad of archers.
Huh? Well, this is unexpected.
I heard that you had made a deal with the mayor for some troops, and if you're heading back, I owe you. So I volunteered.
I guess you two know each other then.
Yeah. One of our associates, Wilhelmina. This is her mother. We helped rescue her from a camp of hobgoblins. Don't let her size fool you. She's frightening.
She walks up to you, Merrick, assesses you, and holds a hand out. Rita Farbrook.
I'll take the hand. Marek, a pleasure.
You're an archer yourself, I see.
And a bladesman.
The bag of holding that we had and all the stuff that was in it, courtesy of Rita.
She nods.
I knew that you would come back to Riverdam, but I didn't think that you would be willing to help us this quickly.
Well, we arrived here long before you did.
Yeah. You had a decent bit of a head start, but couldn't have been here more than, what, a month and a half, 2?
I think it would actually be closer to... Yeah, that's probably right. She's probably been here about 2-3 weeks longer than you have. Probably 2 weeks longer than you have, I think. If I look at the map. I'm not figuring it out right now. But she's been here a little bit longer than you have.
Full disclosure, Rita, we're going to be assaulting Redenburg Fortress. That's going to be extremely dangerous, and I know you still have a family.
I need to find Wilhelmina. She's not with you, from what I had heard. What happened?
She never reconvened with us after we sent her back to, meet with the captains and such and figure out what was going on as far as Redenburg's forces were concerned. We sent her back to report back to them as per usual, and then she, never came back.
So she's either with them or captured. Either way, that's bad. And I can't just let that be. When I heard you were here without her, I began inquiring. My reputation allows some amount of respect, and I was able to discover that, as I said, the mayor was sending a contingency of archers with you. So I volunteered to lead them. If you're going to Redenburg, and part of your intent is to find out what happened to my daughter, I would like to be there to help make that possible.
I can't begrudge you that. Family's family.
Besides, I've seen how incapable all of you can be in this tight situation without help, so I thought you might need me.
You know, we did defeat a Rakshas. Oh, gosh.
Big time.
Dallas!
Rakshasa.
That.
Marina's like hiding behind her book of shadows.
I mean, we didn't kill it, but close enough.
We spooked it.
I would be quite impressed if I knew more about what that was.
Damn it. I don't even know that much about it.
It's a tiger.
Is it? Well, a tiger person, but it's like hands are weird.
Nethy, are you visible?
No.
Your voice is different too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's not Lucy's voice.
Okay. The archers are all looking around a little freaked out.
Don't worry about that. That's just one of our that's one of our friends. Disembodied voice. Perfectly fine.
Nothing's gonna go, ooh.
It's pretty regular.
Nothing. Stop trying to scare the help.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Have you heard from Ty?
Not since he decided to leave us. We're getting into some pretty violent business, and he didn't feel like what we were accomplishing was the same thing that he wanted out of life, so he decided to go off on his own.
I remember he escorted us here.
He hasn't reported back since.
He
No
said
letters
that
or anything, but we do keep moving, so.
after helping us arrive safely here in Riverdam, he said that he felt with the coming violence that doing the same for others as he did for us would be the right course of action for him. I believe that he intended on looking for other refugees who needed to be escorted safely to places like Riverdam.
So, far as you know, he's doing all right?
The last I saw him. But that was... He left almost immediately upon our arrival here in Riverdam.
So it's been a little bit. Well, hopefully he's maintaining his health.
I hope so. She walks over to Talus after that brief hope so to Kolak. Have you had any luck?
I am getting closer, but it yet evades me how to bring someone back after more than a mere minute. But I feel it is close. Your family should be back soon. I will do all I can for this.
She looks down and nods. Do you have the diamonds now?
Talus pulls out the 3 large diamonds and shows her. Everything is in place just as soon as I figure out the precise machinations of the spell.
Thank you for making good on your promise, at least to this point. Well, Kolak, what do you intend with these archers and I?
Well, our group is going to have to remain in Riverdam Raft for a little bit. We've got some commissions that are being worked on at the moment. It's going to take a little bit for those to get done. But in the meantime, we have a lot of people who are meeting up at Ridgeford. I'd like for you and your squad to go ahead of us, and we'll catch up with you when you get there. When you do get there, go talk to the Priestess of Morrigan that's there. She'll be able to get you guys organized and caught up on essentially what the plan is. But basically, there should potentially be a contingent squad that has also been sent there from Drakengard Keep. So, should be some dwarves there. And your squad and the dwarves are going to help us with sieging Redenburg. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of the actual plan of how that siege is going to happen once we all meet up together and I can get everybody on the same page.
She nods. I understand. Have you heard the rumors?
Which ones?
That Redenburg's forces are on the move. South.
Yeah, they're heading to besiege Draen. I'm not sure how long they're going to be there, which is why we don't have too much time, but we're making the best of what we've got. Right now, Redenburg Fortress probably only has a skeleton crew on duty, making sure that the citizens still inside are keeping to themselves and not causing problems, and also, of course, staffing the walls. So, if we manage to get there and set off and start the siege before the army gets back, then that's going to be a big boon for us, numbers-wise.
She nods. Well, I will take these men and head to Ridgeford. Do you have a map? Can you point out the village to me? I've not been there myself.
It's actually not too terribly far from Reddenburg itself here. I forget if we actually do have a map.
You should,
Yeah,
because you had the map that had all the markings of all the...
Vespasian's got it currently.
1 second.
If you want, I'll go get it.
Get the map.
You-
Merrick, do you mind going and...
I'll get it. Don't worry. You talk to your friend. I'll go back and try not to disturb Vespasian and go and grab the map.
There are a couple more things I should probably update you on, Rita, before you end up going. One of which being that, in return for the dwarves' help, we promised to give them back Reddenburg, so to speak. So I'm not sure if that's going to be something that you have a problem with or anything, but just want to make sure that you're aware. Secondarily, I have no confirmation if Wilhelmina is either in Reddenburg or if she's with the force that is down in Draen.
I know. I understand. Or she says, I understand. I thought as much from what you've told me.
Hopefully she's still in Reddenburg, and if that's the case, then we can get her away from the rest of the army and back with you at the very least, before any sort of forces come by. When we do take Reddenburg, well, we have a couple of more things that we're going to need to accomplish. Taking Reddenburg is the first bit of the plan, but we're going to have to go under Reddenburg as well. We've learned that there is a creature way below in the ancient crypts that the dwarves used to keep that, it's causing the drought.
Will we be accompanying you down below the city?
Possibly. We haven't gotten a decent look as to exactly what the pathway looks like getting down there, but we might need the help. And if we do, well, I'm going to be relying on you. But if not, and if it's something that only a small group can get into at a time, it would probably be a bad idea to try and get as many people down there as possible, so we'll stick with our own group. But that does mean that your group will instead be probably manning the walls and letting us know, or letting the dwarves know, whoever's available, when Reddenburg's army starts coming back from Draen. At that point, we're going to be having to deal with a siege from the other side. That's going to be the real challenge.
And you're sure that Reddenburg is still colluding with the hobgoblins?
The hobgoblins and Reddenburg's forces do seem to be at a friction point. Last I checked, the hobgoblins were thinking about breaking away from Reddenburg or betraying their interests. I don't entirely know why, but they were still, at least to each other, working together last I saw.
And if both forces assault Reddenburg while we're inside?
Then we're in for a hell of a fight.
As you said
If
before...
things look grim, we do have an emergency way to get out of Reddenburg if we're not able to keep a hold of it.
I see. As you said before, family is most important. Once I find Wilhelmina, I will have decisions to make. You understand?
I do. And if you end up having to leave, you can place somebody else in charge, I suppose. You're a volunteer, so I can't really order you to stay in any way. Not like I have any authority over you. if I did, you'd probably immediately leave anyway.
Well, maybe not immediately. Depends on your orders.
Well, I won't order you to do anything that you're not already really good at. But as I understand, it's been a while since you've actually had to utilize those skills.
I used them as recently as my rescue. So, didn't seem too rusty then. Hopefully I won't be too rusty now.
As far as the rest of your family, they're still here in Riverdale. I'm guessing they're going to be staying back.
Yes, they're remaining here. Which is one of the reasons why I made a point of saying that once I find my daughter, I'll have some decisions to make.
Well, you're free to make whatever decisions you'd like. As of right now, your only standing orders are to head to Ridgeford and meet up with the rest of whoever will be gathered from Drakengard. And, of course, reconvene with the Priestess of Morgan down there, who will probably have some tasks for you guys. They're kind of in the midst of a rebuilding session.
Understood. Well then, as soon as we get that map, we'll be leaving.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I'm just kind of waiting to the finish the conversation and hand the map over.
Give me a second.
When it comes to fighting and leading in through the tunnels, I'll happy to take point on that. It's an element I am very comfortable working in.
She nods to you as well, and you head to get the map from Vespasian. Peeking into his room, you find Vespasian attempting to trance in the typical way of an elf, and there are expressions of pain and fear on his face.
I'll try not to disturb him and make for his pack to pick up the map.
Yeah, you just see me like wincing, kind of cold sweats, kind of shaking the head every once in a while, like just kind of like, I mean, his eyes are closed the entire time, and honestly, he's got disadvantage on perception, so he probably has no idea that you're there.
I'll pick the map up and come back into the room.
Okay.
Talus, have you got a moment?
Of course.
I'll pull Talus to the side. I'll put the map down and pull him to the side.
What do you need?
We need to find some way to deal with this Vespasian. He looks worse. I saw my family go into trances, but his guard's down. He's ill. We need to try and find the root cause of this. I think we're going to have to go to the priests. I have a little knowledge, but not enough to deal with this.
Nor I think it is wise to consult the priests, perhaps even the druid who we sought to help oust the Rakshasa in the first place, but failing those, I will contact what beings of power I have access to. I will see if their wisdom can guide me to any solutions. If you have any of the same, I would suggest you do so.
I think I will find somewhere to pray. and seek some guidance.
Talus nods. I only hope we find some way to deal with this before it. I fear if
Agreed.
this takes him, I will not be able to bring him back, you understand?
I do. I don't think he would come back either. Yeah. If that happens, then we can discuss it. But Vespasian wouldn't want to be returned in that way. It's something we spoke about. Let's see if we can cure. I'd rather not have to cross that barrier when it comes.
I agree.
Kolak, did you tell Orica that you were heading to... Oh, you had that sending with Orica recently where you told her you were in Riverdam Raft, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You bring the map out and show Wilhelmina's mother Rita where to head, where Richford is on the map. She says that that's easy enough to get to, and gathers the archers and prepares to leave. As she turns to you, Kolak, and says, "Where's Sentry? And Lucy? Have you lost more?"
Lucy sucks.
Lucy was never mine.
Strange.
As far as Sentry is concerned, well, I don't exactly know what happened with him. He found something and then decided to go off on his own without telling us. The disembodied voice from before, that was what you know as Lucy.
I don't really understand.
Well, you're going to be working with her in the future, so it's probably best you did. Lucy wasn't Lucy. Lucy was a tiefling named Nethi possessing Lucy.
So she's a ghost.
Yes. Apparently Lucy killed her. In revenge, she possessed her.
You are and you keep strange company.
Yeah, well, who else is going to hang out with a Dragonborn?
She looks around the room. I'll see you in Richford. And she
Just give her a nod.
heads out with your archers. As she opens the door, a tiny, semi-mechanical owl carrying a letter flies in, bumps into a post in the room, and kind of exhaustedly lands on the bar top, laying like flat on its back, its eyes like fluctuating in and out, open and closed, and just lays there, the letter having fallen onto the floor, and in big letters is written Kolak on it.
What the fuck? I'll head over and pick up the letter.
You have
What
some
is this
serious
nonsense?
strange friends.
Raina
I don't
would
even
go
know
over
what
to
this is
the
about.
owl.
What's that?
I would go over to the owl.
The owl is like this. It's like an animatronic owl. It's
It's
tiny.
so cute.
It's
I
a
wanna,
tiny
like, pet
little
it.
animatronic owl, and it is just kind of like breathing heavily and passes out.
It's a mechanical owl. How does it get tired?
It's suffering from levels of exhaustion too.
It's in Rakshasa.
The Kolak, the letter, it has your name written upon it in Orica's handwriting.
Well, I don't know what her handwriting generally looks like, so.
Okay,
Or else I wouldn't be
I didn't
able
know
to-
if you had
I've
had
probably
other
seen
things.
her handwriting before, but I don't know how to look,
Okay.
how to tell between different people's writings.
All right, there's a letter wrapped inside of a letter, essentially. When you open it, the first one is from the priestess, and it says, "This tiny creature arrived in Ridgeford, not but a few weeks ago, or it is recently arrived in Ridgeford, seeking you out. So I sent it to Riverdam Raft after getting your sending. There seems to be something in here for you."
What the hell?
Inside is a note from Century that says, "Objective complete. Heading to acquire upgrades. Will return when I can."
Upgrades. He never used to be this cryptic, honestly. He used to be usually straight and to the point. And explain
Is
what's
that
going
from
on.
Century?
Yeah.
It's Owl, Nethi, and Talus. That is Owl.
It's Owl!
Centuries Owl.
Century's Owl.
Grim
named
immediately goes over and starts playing with Owl.
Owl. Owl
Nothing's
will
trying to
awaken.
pick it up but can't.
Owl will awaken as soon as Grim starts playing with him, and he starts hopping around as if he was never really exhausted.
The
We got a
romantic
bit of a
little
note from
creature.
Century. A little update as to what's going on with him, but I can't make heads or tails of it. Says objective complete. Heading to get an upgrade now. Will return when finished. I
But
don't know
he's
what
like
any of
doing
that's
okay
about.
then.
Apparently he's still around. Otherwise, I doubt Owl would be around.
An upgrade. What would he be?
Probably more arms. Because then he can hold more swords.
That's true.
Nethi, he only uses one big sword.
Well, yeah, because he only has two
Yeah,
arms.
but imagine if he could use more big swords.
That is a good point.
That sounds like something Century would want to be able to do.
Oh, he's gonna look so cool with his new arms. I'm so happy for him.
Well, I'm pretty happy as well that at the very least he's still alive. And he says he'll be back at some point. So, I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but
Will he be able to find us? We're kind of moving all over.
Owl found you.
Well,
That's true.
well, if this is another ally, perhaps he might be at Ridgeford.
Oh yes, Century is a very good ally. I like him a lot. He did decapitate the guy that one time. So there's that.
Poor
Don't-
mares.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That was just a mare. You receive this letter, and that's, I think, the most eventful set of things that are going to happen this day. The next day, you should be able to pick up your things from Martimus, unless you have anything else that you would be doing before that. You can continue to make plans and decisions as to what your next steps are once you get your items.
yeah, I think it's pretty clear what our plans are. Well, after we get everything that we wanted to do, we'll make sure that Vespasian's okay. If he's not, then he's going to the fucking temple.
Okay.
And once everybody's ready to go, back to Richford we go.
Well, that's the next day. You've sent Vespasian to attempt to rest for as long as he possibly can that day, after meeting with Rita and receiving the letter from Sentry. The following day, Vespasian is worse. He is even more exhausted. Vespasian, you have 3 levels of exhaustion at this point. You have disadvantage on attacks and saves, your speed is halved, and you have disadvantage on ability checks.
So if I wasn't already going to fail my saves, I'm really going to fail my saves now.
Well, tomorrow's save is a DC 40, so I don't think there's any way you could possibly succeed at that.
Oh,
You never
God.
know. Yeah, I know.
I don't think enough targeting, inspiration, guidance, and everything is going to get there.
Yeah. I would.
Vespasian,
prob-
I'm going to come into your room in the morning and find you, because Vespasian, this can't go on. I'm going to get Talus and Kolok. We're going to have to take you across to the temple. See if the priest there can do anything. It's beyond my skill to heal.
Can I come? Raina's like looking at Vespasian like a panicked puppy, like as if her owner's not doing well. And she's like kind of freaking out, and she's just like,
Yeah, of course. I'm going to leave you behind.
Yes, I think that would be best.
Raina, stay with Vespasian just now.
Has anyone
I'll
seen
go.
Nettie? I'd like to speak to her for a second.
What do you need? And she'll pop into existence.
It's always there.
God, don't do that.
Yeah, I just imagine she's always just like hovering around everybody in general, just waiting for somebody to be like, "Where's Nettie?" So she can pop up, being like, "Hey!"
Someone needs me.
Hey!
I don't know how today is going to go or what's going to happen to me. But if I don't need this body anymore, you're welcome to use it.
What? Don't even start talking like that. No. You're gonna be fine. It's just a rough patch. We're gonna get you fixed up. You know, if you're not doing well, we'll take you to the priest, and Merrick and Alice are looking out for you. And don't even worry about it.
Just make sure I don't get turned into a skeleton. That's all. Alright, let's go see if these priests can help me.
I'll have already went and banged on Talus's and Kolok's door to get them up.
Vespasian is moving so slow this morning.
maybe Kolok can like carry you, because you're kind of like, it's very hard to support you. Raina's like trying to help you to move faster, but like she's very tiny.
Kolok's
Kolok will head
Kolok.
out to meet up with all of them. What?
Come on.
Is he still fucked?
He's worse. We need to take him to the temple.
All right, this is ridiculous. I'm carrying you, okay? And you're really not in a condition to say no, so fuck yourself. He just like grabs Vespasian, like puts him
Totally
over his
can
shoulder, fireman style.
Perfect.
Still gonna try to refuse to get carried.
Yeah,
Even if
he's-
I have to take disadvantage.
He's trying to wave you off. Kolok, do you want to make a grapple check against Vespasian?
Sure.
Vespasian, you can use either athletics or acrobatics to try and fend him off from trying to pick you up. The Bodyguard soundtrack has entered the chat.
See, awesome. Give me a second. If this, I checked it to see if it worked. There we go. One.
Yeah, he just kind of like, you're like fending him off, and he just like manhandles you into a fireman's carry.
Yep, you're coming with me. Here we go. Don't even worry about it. This is happening.
As Vespasian lets out one final sigh.
You take him to
Slowly
the
giving-
nearby. Oh, what's that, Vespasian? Go ahead.
He's slowly giving up on life.
It's all good.
Still.
Vespasian's like, I'm dying. Just leave me.
He really is such a drama queen.
Go on without me. Nethy, you can have my body if I die. When I die.
Wait, real question though. If Nethy would possess him, would Nethy be exhausted?
That's the question, if it's a mental exhaustion or body exhaustion.
That's
If
a
the curse
good
is
question.
stuck to the body or mental.
I don't know.
But that's a DM thing, because I don't think there's rules anywhere.
I'd have to think about that. You take him, you carry him to the Temple of Robin. People are getting out of Kolok's way as he's marching through the street carrying Vespasian. And you bring him in to the temple. The temple is much more like a. It's not like your typical temple, right? It's not these rows of benches with like an altar at the front. It looks more like a stage. You bring him in, and the pair of halfling priests that you met before turn and look. This isn't another of those possession things, is it?
No, this is a sickness thing. So I just kind of like bring Vespasian over and just kind of like put him like under an arm. This guy apparently can't get a good night's rest and hasn't been for the past several days.
Have you tried sleeping?
Yeah,
Yes.
past 6 days. Apparently doesn't work. What's the issue? Non-stop nightmares?
Something. I don't know. I just, every time I close my eyes, I see things.
Have you tried getting knocked out? Usually a good bout of unconsciousness will really help with the sleep, especially if it's alcohol-induced.
Trust me, we've tried basically everything. We tried alcohol, we've tried usual healing stuff that we have available, medicines, blah blah, telling him to sleep. We've tried it all. That's why our last ditch effort is to figure out if you guys have any idea what to do.
He was wounded by a Rakshasa.
All right, sit up.
Just plop
That's
him onto his butt.
One of them casts light onto like a coin. Open your mouth. Let me see. Like looks in your mouth. Taryn, let me see your. Let me look in your ears. Like examining you. One of them like puts their ear to your chest to listen to your heart. Well, he's been cursed by a Rakshasa. We didn't need to do any of that. We knew that once you told us what happened.
Then why did you do it?
Because it's fun.
Fair enough.
They get Talus to chuckle.
Was this really a good idea?
Well, we can help him, but it requires the mandatory donation.
Raina will give them like a half-used sweet that she had from like when she went to the casino and got all the desserts.
You got
Nephi will give them. Nephi will telepathically speak into Talus's mind to give them one of the stuffed animals that he's been holding on to for her. It's a bunny.
First of all, we know where you got these. We own the casino.
Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome for your business.
It's fun there.
Giving
You guys
these
do a
back
good
to
job.
us does not. This is not a mandatory donation. No, there's a mandatory donation.
Oh, that's fine. What? Gold?
Yes.
How much?
Let's see. If you want us to get rid of the curse, it's 200 gold. If you want us to get rid of the curse and then get rid of the exhaustion, it's going to be more.
Do we get a hero's discount for saving the town?
Yes, you should. It's 250. Thanks. Thank you for the reminder.
250 altogether?
No. The discount for the... Oh, wait. I went up.
Discounts go down.
Right. Discounts usually go down, but asking questions costs more.
Statement. Give us a...
Look, it's 200 to get rid of the curse.
Just give him the gold.
Okay. And Kolak will hand over 200 gold.
Okay.
There. We'll just have him sleep on the way back.
Way back where?
We're heading out of here real soon.
Asking questions costs more.
Okay. Lay him down in the middle of the stage, please. There's like a central... Like, the Temple of Robin has risers that surround like a circular stage in the middle of the of this temple's sanctuary.
Kolak will grab one of Vespasian's arms and just like drag him over into the middle of the stage.
Make sure you're
You
gentle.
know I can walk. Right?
Yeah, well, you're really slow at it, so...
It's just like 15 feet away.
Yeah, well, I want to get this done sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we haven't got all day.
You get him dragged into the center of this stage, and the two priests stand on either side of him. You'll all need to come around and hold hands.
Marina, no questions asked is already up there.
Okay, fine.
Talus doesn't believe that this is necessary, but does do it anyway.
Nothing has manifested and is trying to hold people's hands.
Kolak will just head up and grab, like, I guess Talus and Reyna's hands, like, okay. Sure, why not?
Reyna will make sure that Merrick has to hold Talus's hand.
Oh, god damn it, I knew you were going to do that. Put my gloves on first.
Okay. Now, close your eyes and begin to hum. And one of them throws powder into the air, and the lights in the room go out with a flash.
Talus hums and gives one of the priests bardic inspiration with his humming.
Nice.
Just to flex.
Just a flex.
Now, think of whatever you can that reminds you of your friend in the fullness of health. One of them leans down, Vespasian, and places a hand on your head and whispers quietly into your ear.
They don't actually have to do any of this. It's just really fun to make them.
Kolak is currently envisioning Vespasian back when he first met him. But like in his sort of replay in his head, Vespasian is a lot more like exaggeratingly smug and bougie. Like in his head, Vespasian's like, oh yeah, that's his idea of Vespasian and Polio.
Who has their stuffed animals on their person?
Reyna always would now.
I was doing all of the extra ones for Nancy.
Kolak's
I've
got his
got one
tiger
in my
strapped to his
backpack as well.
shoulder plate.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Vespasian's guy is in his pocket. As the Priest Robin leans over. He lets out a chuckle that, just like one quick chuckle that quickly turns into a cough, like a coughing fit while he's on the table.
The lights burst back on, causing all of you to open your eyes. When they do, one of the priests of Robin has a hand on Vespasian's head and is looking up, chanting oddly. The other one is standing over him with a double-bladed dagger that is wound together, kind of the two blades twisting together. And he plunges the dagger down into Vespasian's chest in this incredibly dramatic moment. And the other one, as soon as that happens, yells, "Be healed!" And as he does that, as he does that, you see all of your stuffed animals suddenly fly off your person into the center of the circle, landing upon Vespasian. And then
Tigger!
and then the priest of Robin stands up. There's no wound on Vespasian's chest at all. Vespasian, the one touching your head, casts remove curse upon you, getting rid of the Rakshasa's curse, but leaving you exhausted still. And the two halflings just start laughing and falling all over themselves with it.
Raina's still not over like the attempted stabbing, and her jaw's like down, and she's just like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my gosh,
Golak comes
Captain-
over and grabs his stuffed tiger back. He's just like, "This is mine."
I'll turn around to Reyna. No fireball.
I was really close.
We're all in the room right now.
Talus is clapping like after a play or something. He looks impressed mostly.
The priest of Robin with the dagger just like is like bawling, like laughing and like falling all over himself with laughter. The look on his face. He's pointing at Merrick.
You find that funny? And Marek will walk over, grab the stuffed toy that belongs to him, and just march out of the temple.
As you walk over and like the priest like stabs at you with the double-bladed dagger as he does, and as he hits you with it, the blade just kind of like goes inside the handle of the dagger.
Bloody halflings!
It's a trick
Are there
blade.
any torches? Are there any torches like in this room?
Mm-hmm.
Raina will look at the one and use like control fire and like bring the fire to her and be like, "Be careful who you do that with," and then extinguish the fire.
Nessie's gone up to Vespasian and she's like, "Try sleeping."
It's just not he's not gonna sleep now when we're all causing a ruckus.
Yeah,
everyone
Vespasian still looks just as bad.
Oh yeah, he looks awful.
He did. He really hasn't changed.
Well,
All
someone
right.
get him warm milk and cookies, and Kolak, you can carry him back and tuck him in, and we can continue with what we need to do.
We can get rid of
All
the
right.
we can help him to be we can help him to be, you know, a little better if you want.
We're too broke for that.
Are you sure?
Look, all I've got left is about 33 gold.
Listen, I have a solution of my own. And Talus is just gonna walk over to Vespasian and cast suggestion and just say, "You fall asleep now."
Look, it's gonna take him days to get better if he hasn't gotten sleep in days. It's gonna take him
We're
a while.
gonna be traveling for days. He'll probably just end up sleeping in the back.
Honestly, it's not that much for us to like make it like
How
he's
much?
gotten a
How
few
much?
more days of sleep. Well, for each night of sleep you want us to give him, it's only gonna cost you 600 gold. It's fine.
Raina's
Yeah,
like
that's
already
not.
starting to
yeah,
walk out.
That's a big. That's
No,
a big no.
wait, it's not that
That's a hard
much.
no for
Really.
me.
We have
Yeah,
payment plans
look,
available.
No, I totally get that you don't think it's that much, but that's way too much.
I mean,
Instead of 600 gold a night, could I give you a stuffed animal per night?
no. You can give okay. If you give us a stuffed animal, if you give us a stuffed animal per night, then it will only be 600 gold per night.
Right. So, no.
Raina's gonna look at Merrick and be like, "Are you sure I can't fireball?"
We offer payment plans.
It's tempting.
Look. We're gonna be traveling for a while anyway. We'll just have him sleep in the back of the cart the whole time we're traveling.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you don't
here's
get
the other-
attacked on the road.
We'll be fine.
This sounds like a mob racket. Like they're gonna summon creatures to attack us on the road.
If you sleep in this one warrior down, and how you going to defend yourself if something unfortunate happens?
Yeah, and I don't even want to know what the interest rate is on the payment plan either.
But if Talus
Like,
actually does cast suggestion on me, I don't know if that works because elves can't be put to sleep by magical means, and I don't know if that's me putting myself to sleep or if that's suggestion putting me
It's
to
more
sleep.
convincing you to go to sleep, which I
Suggestion,
think is
yeah.
a decent enough loophole.
Suggestion is a charm spell, and if he tells you to do it,
Yeah, I
if he
can choose to-
suggests it, and if you fail and become charmed, then you will attempt to follow the suggestion to the best of your ability, as long as it is not something that is harmful to you in some way, right?
Normally, you'd have
Yeah.
advantage against it, but I think
Right,
because of your
it's-
exhaustion,
Because of his exhaustion, it's just a
Yeah.
regular roll.
Yeah, I mean Vespasian probably wouldn't because he doesn't want to trance right there.
Fair
That is the suggestion, is to go to bed.
Either way, so our weapons are ready today, right? So that's okay. So I think Kolak, you should take Vespasian back because you're the biggest one that can carry him. Make sure you tuck
Fine.
him in nice and you give him more milk and cookies.
I can walk.
And we'll go get. She's ignoring Vespasian.
I'm serious. I can walk.
We will go pick up the weapons.
Why is no one listening
Okay.
to me? I can walk.
Yeah, I get it. You can walk, but you know what? You're super slow right now.
Okay, let's go before I burn this place down.
We've got shit to do, and we
What?
can't be sitting around waiting on you.
All right. Well, then, if you're not in need of any more of our services, we thank you very much for your mandatory donation, and we welcome you to leave the temple, or we could give you a further discount on getting rid of his exhaustion a little bit at a time. It'll only be 500 per night of sleep that he needs.
Yeah,
Let's go,
still,
guys.
no. That's still going to be a no.
Raina is walking out. At this
Have a nice day, face, people. Thank you.
I'll grab Vespasian and.
If you need us to exercise your
take him
ghost, let us know.
No thanks, we're good. We like this one.
My ghost.
Once.
Have fun storming the castle.
So I will bring Vespasian back to his room and plop him
Yeah.
into his bed.
I mean, unless anyone wants to have any conversations right now, we can fast forward if you guys want.
Oh, one thing that I forgot to do last session.
Okay.
Mark,
Yes.
some people died when Reyna fireballed the city, and Talus would want to know if the mayor would let him have the bodies for future resurrection.
I don't think so, because I think you get into the situation where you have families involved who would be upset with that.
It's reasonable, but
yeah.
Talus would definitely ask.
Yeah, you did ask. If I remember correctly.
No, that was about the skeleton army.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. The surveys get mixed up sometimes. Which one you're
That's because
taking.
there's a lot of them.
Okay. Just figured I would bring that up.
What's that?
Does Riverdam Raft have a graveyard?
Or do they just dump the bodies at
I don't
sea?
think they do. I think that there's either a burial at sea, or there would be a graveyard probably somewhere outside of town on one of the river, like past one of the riverbanks. There might be a graveyard somewhere.
I mean, at least these bodies were probably
Or we can go
cremated.
super silly on this and say the halflings, when they die, just turn into a golden coin.
Oh God, no.
Confirm it. Let's go.
What do you think is keeping the buoyancy of the rafts? It's all the bodies they tie to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
You didn't see those when you're down. Oh, look.
Jesus Christ. That'd be one smelly Riverdam Raft.
Yes, it would. It would constantly smell like dead fish. No, but there's probably I think they would practice like a burial at sea or have an an onshore somewhere graveyard. But that's a good question, because there's definitely not a graveyard on this map.
A barrel for each body. Floating graveyard.
Oh god. Well, guys, okay. So you get Vespasian back and tell him to rest. Somebody is going to pick up the items from the artificer, correct?
Yep, I'll go do that.
Yes.
I'll go with him.
And I will be going because I want my fucking glaive.
No, you're tucking in Vespasian.
I'm not tucking him in. I'm just plopping him on his bed and leaving him.
Kolak's like, there, you're fucking better. Just throws him on the bed.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't get tucked in bed anyway.
Jesse will mage hand the
Sure, he
blanket.
sits up.
Man.
Thank you.
Vespasian's like, you guys aren't listening to me. I don't need to be tucked in.
I can walk on my own. I don't need tucked in. God damn it.
Oh god, the chat is going insane. Oh god.
Mark, just kill me already.
I'm sorry. Oh, good god. I'm trying to get my wits back together after that.
Okay.
You head back to you go back to Martimus, and he is polishing Rusty, and he brings out the glaive as well as the other items that you had ordered. The glaive has decorative flames that have been kind of like etched into the glaive's blade by Martimus as a extra touch. He thought they looked cool. And he hands the items over to all of you, receiving the final payment for them. If you need anything else, you have my card, do you not?
Yeah. We might be back in the future at some point. Kolak is just like looking at his glaive. I'm gonna have so much fun with this thing.
Why don't...
Well,
Well,
Mark's kind of doing the same, looking at the nice shiny new swords.
Raina is just judging both of them.
is there anything else
Boys
you'll
with us?
need?
I don't think so, right? I think we're good. We
Did you-
already talked about the barrel of holding, right?
Yes,
It was already.
that would have been told to you. Did you guys not want to purchase a scroll of mending for the wagon?
Yes. The Vespasian talked about it before.
I think that was a part of the gold that we put in for the initial investment. Because we wanted a jewel for Raina, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did. We asked for
Yes,
that.
I got my gem eyeball.
She got you
Yeah.
her gem eyeball. Yeah.
And now that Raina's here, has the dog been fixed?
Yes.
Raina's like, wait, what dog?
The mechanical dog comes running out from behind Rusty. It is jumping around. It's about the same size as Grim. And you have a... let's see, what would this be?
We thought this would make a good pet for you to look after.
She's like on the floor playing with her robot puppy, super excited and like happy tears as she's like not making out actual words. She's just kind of crying puppy.
She's like, baby, puppy, baby, puppy.
Yeah, like exactly how I talk to my actual animals.
It also means if you do fireballs at the wrong place, we'll take the puppy back off you.
Oh, right. Well, Spacing's going to be sleeping all day and probably all night, so let's say we set off in the morning, huh?
Agreed.
Just to let you guys know, actually, I can only do, I do the 4-hour rest, but I can only do one short or long rest a day. So
Yeah.
I can only get rid of one level of exhaustion a day and take only
Yes.
one long rest a day.
Correct.
That's
It's
fine.
all right.
After 4 hours, I'd be doing whatever.
Gotta get the wagon ready to go.
I'll go out and get enough sort of food and rations to last the group. It's going to be about 20 days, we said.
Yeah, something like that. I can do a little bit of hunting, but the drought kind of makes it hard. Not a
Make
lot
sure
of
we've
game.
got make sure there's plenty of water there as well.
It's going to use the same stat block, I think, as a homunculus.
Which one, the dog?
Yeah, without the flying speed.
All right.
So it'll it won't have the flying speed, but it'll have everything else. But it speaks the language of its creator, or it understands the language of its creator. Languages, so it would understand Common. You
Okay,
don't-
I was like, I don't speak halfling.
So yeah, it comes bounding forward, making little mechanical whirring and clicking sounds as it does, and it jumps around your feet. Yep, didn't take much. His work was shoddy, so I improved upon it a bit.
Oh, that's good. Well, you've gotten a lot of gold out of us, so
Well,
up to you.
we'll be here if you need anything else, Rusty and I. Happy to help. Good luck on your war.
We do come back. We won't be back for a little while, so.
That's understandable. Well, I wish you luck in all of your endeavors, and I hope these items serve you well. I wouldn't want my reputation being at a disadvantage. If you come across anyone else needing such items, please send them the way of me and Rusty.
Absolutely, not a problem. Will do.
Rusty salutes you all as you begin to leave.
Bye, Rusty.
Creaks?
What's that?
Does it creak? I'm just imagining that Kolak's new flame blade has to smack it now to turn it on.
Normally it's a command word, but I don't know. It depends on how he decides to set it up.
It's more like a flamethrower. You have like a backpack, and it's got a hose to it, and you have to push a button, and then yeah. No, it's a standard flame blade glaive or flame tongue glaive. Now, you are badass. You have a fire weapon.
I cannot wait to use the hell out of this thing
Yep.
on like everything. Just everything. Just flames everywhere. I'm gonna burn so much shit to the ground.
You
That's
meet
we already
Oh,
have. Yeah, I was about to say we already have a priority member for that. We need to
That's true, but I don't require spell slots for mine.
yes.
Fair
You
enough.
have you have to wait at least 8 hours for Vespasian to get a rest.
Yeah.
And then you can head out of town and back in the direction of Richford. You've sent your archers on the way. You've healed Vespasian, and you've gathered your magical equipment, discovering some information about a few of the allies that you have left behind in the past.
Speaking of, what happened with Owl?
Oh,
Did he leave?
Owl, after playing with Grim for a little while, would have left to head back to wherever Century was.
Gotcha.
At some point, he may have been dismissed outright, but probably not until he gets closer to where Century is. For those of you who don't know, last night in our Arc game, Century had his docent installed by the Artifact Recovery Corporation at Santa's workshop. So he is now headed to Deer Bluff because he's hoping to get some better equipment installed. Like a bunch of boss-ass motherfuckers. Yes, Bowie, it's true. You guys just rocked the skill challenge to install the docent. And so, if you don't mind, I need to use the restroom, so we'll take a quick break and be right back.
All right.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Hello, we're back. All right. You have, having gathered everything that you need, the following morning, Vespasian, you're still moving slowly, but you feel much better. About one level of exhaustion better.
Yeah, he kind of just takes a deep breath, sigh, kind of a relief that it's feeling a little bit better, and hoping that he's on the uphill.
And you are ready to depart for Riverdam Raft, if I'm not mistaken. The next morning, having gotten everything together. Kolok, you excitedly have your new glaive. Marek, you have your new weapons.
I have attuned to that shit.
The cart has been fixed with a combination of some quick fixes and some mending spells. And you head out onto the road.
Was the cart broken? Did I miss that?
Oh no, you have some mending spells in case the cart breaks. Is that correct?
No, it's so when we run into the other cool cart.
Oh, that's what you're using it
we
for.
have bunk beds inside of a cart.
Ah. All right. You return to the road. You've spent a few days in Riverdam Raft, and the first night on the road, first day on the road, while you're all traveling, what's your marching order?
Dallas,
I'll be.
you can drive.
I think I'll probably end up. Yeah, I'll be out ahead, scouting out.
Merrick will be scouting. I'll be walking next to the cart, just kind of like twirling my fucking glaive around, just being like, "This is awesome." Vespasian will probably be confined to the back of the cart to like just keep fucking chilling out.
Yeah. While Merrick's scouting, he'll have my horn of silent alarm in case he needs to alert us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good for like 600 feet.
Has anybody attuned to the new horn?
No one's had time.
No.
I gave it to Talus to study, and I told him not to blow on it. So I don't know. It's up to him really if he blows on it.
Talus would have attuned, but when he was told not to use it, he kind of figured they probably don't want him to. But he has been studying it.
All right. While everybody's riding along, or walking along, Vespasian, you receive a sending spell.
Okay.
Actually, would it be I think it's Vespasian who would receive it, yeah. Eumenea, her voice speaks into your mind. The priestess of Nadara that you had met on the road.
That'd have been Merrick.
Oh, would it have been Merrick? I didn't know if she had told you that she'd contact you. I think Merrick, were you the one who asked how you can keep in touch with her? Or was it Vespasian?
I thought it was Vespasian that asked.
I think Vespasian asked, but I think
it can be me. It doesn't matter.
Or do you think she would send it to Marek even if Vespasian was the one who asked how you can keep in touch?
I don't know. She's your NPC.
Okay. Well then, I think Marek. No, Vespasian. Like I said, Vespasian. I think you would be the one she would send to.
Okay.
How has gone your progress in Riverdam Raft? Were you able to... Did you discover if the Rakshasa was truly there? Were you able to steer clear of it? I hope you are well.
Oh, man. Does Vespasian know about limits to these things?
I don't think he would. I think by the nature of the spell,
You just automatically know.
Yeah. You have 25 words to respond.
Okay. Yes, we found the Rakshasa. Sorry, I'm going by all the syllables here. We found the Rakshasa. It was impersonating the mayor. We confronted it, but it escaped. It may be a problem in the future. That's all you can send, really.
Okay.
Sorry.
You get a response. You get another sending. Are you all well? Do you
Now we
need-
are.
well, hold on,
sorry.
hold on. Are you all well? Are you in need of healing? If so, you can find me in the hills a day's travel from Riverdam.
Do I have to respond immediately? I think, right?
I think so.
Okay. We are alive and healthy, though I cannot say that this was always the case. We would be happy to meet you. And talk.
Okay. All right. That's what you know as you're traveling upon the road on the road from Riverdam back to Richford.
Was there a place? Was it already a day's travel? Because now things are a little.
It wasn't always a day's travel, but remember, she can move her shrine.
Yes. Okay. I was just curious if because it was once a day's travel, so that's why I'm double checking. Because if that was the case, then a Vespasian would go about this differently.
It wasn't a day's travel the last time you met with her, but
yeah, it was a day's travel to Riverdam Raft from where she was at, but now it's super weird.
yes,
but
to now she has moved her shrine closer based on what she's telling you.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to double check because then Vespasian would tell them to go to the same area to look for the grove. But that being said, he would know that it's not within that distance. He would look forward to whoever is driving, which I think would probably be Talus because I think he's the only one that can, right?
Talus is getting his learner's permit, yes.
Okay. So he goes up to Talus, kind of peeks out the back of the cart. I was just contacted.
Oh? Change of plans? Who contacted you?
Amelia, the priestess of Nadara that we met in the grove. That was not your brightest friend. But she wishes to meet. I think it's best that we meet her and discuss what would happen, as the Rakshasa is still a threat to her. And it's best that she knows.
Just tell me the way.
She says
have
that
some-
she's not a day's ride.
I
Let's
have
just
some
keep our
questions
eyes
for
out.
her as well. I will keep my eyes up then.
Yeah, and with that, Vespasian would go into the back, and if this is the second day, he would, depending on how much time we have, he would attempt beginning a long rest again
Okay.
before we
You'll
run into it.
You'll
Depending
need
on
some
it.
time to do that because you can only benefit from one long rest a day, and you would have rested before leaving the town, and that would have been the first long rest. Right?
Okay,
So, like,
yeah.
you're traveling now. By the time you get to the end of the day of travel, you'll be able to benefit from another long rest. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds good. I wasn't sure if you were doing on a 24-hour clock starting at midnight, or if you were doing it at since the last long rest.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Vespasian told the plan to everyone, not just Talus who's directing.
I don't know. So far, he's only told it to
Well,
Talus.
I would have not left the wagon. He's still exhausted. So it would have been anyone that's within, whispering or talking distance of the wagon would know.
So where's Ray?
She would probably be. I don't know. I feel like she'd probably be in the wagon because she probably would not want to leave too far from Vespasian, and she would
Okay.
want to read her book.
Okay, then you're sitting there reading your book when Vespasian leans forward and tells that to Talus.
Vespasian, and she's whispering, yelling, Vespasian.
Well, yeah, he just kind of leans back in. Yes, Ray.
I don't know if you remember our little talk we had because I know you were kind of out of it. About the Raksha, and she's whispering this so Talus and them don't hear. The Raksha now it's that once her dead is kind of my patron.
Yes, I do remember, but if I remember correctly, and this is slightly out of character, if I remember correctly, the Rakshasa is technically, from the conversation we had previously, the Rakshasa is not after her, but her son.
She's after a thing that she was protecting, which her son now has, that he went into hiding because of. But he's been searching for her to find out where her son is, and that's why her shrine moves around. If I recall the conversation correctly.
Okay, just double checking.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Ray, I see that your concerns are valid, but we should meet her and warn her of the danger. It might be best that you don't come into the grove, as we're not entirely sure what your new friend has in mind for you.
Ray,
And I don't-
He's not my friend. He did that to you, and I don't like him.
Ray, since the day at the casino, the Rakshasa has been just kind of popping in on you every night and asking you to tell him what's gone on throughout your day. You can omit what you wish or not wish, but he does check in on you every night or so, maybe every other night, for you to tell him exactly what you guys are doing.
She would probably be pretty open to sharing, but she would give stupid details, oh, today I ate this kind of pastry. I tried to draw a picture in my book of shadows and didn't really take the color too well.
We see why our contract got handed off so quickly.
Please, I will pay you to take the contract.
Take it back.
Okay. You're traveling along this first day, and the weather is fine and fair. You pass by the place where you were first assaulted by the halflings, bringing back fond memories of being ambushed, and you head into the nearby hills. Merrick, as you're traveling up ahead, before word has even reached you, or I don't know if they would have moved up to you to tell you where you're headed or not, but you've been scouting the way. Perhaps during the midday meal, they would have informed you that you're headed
Well, do we
back.
actually know the way? Because she just kind of
She just said it
in
was
the-
in the hills. In the hills, about a day's travel from Riverdam Raft, right? So you're on the road, towards Ridgeford.
Well, if they'd kind of moved the wagon slightly off the road toward the hills, then we probably saw that and keep sweep back to find out why they were changing and what route they were going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
you've
he
been
got us
told.
lost there the first time, so
I know. I was thinking I'd get you lost there again.
Yeah, give me a survival check, Merrick, to kind of prepare the way for them, keep things moving forward, and making sure that you're not. Oh, there you go.
Well, that was
That's
stealth.
stealth.
That was stealth.
That's the wrong
survival's
roll.
Survival's only one less.
Okay, that's fine. We'll keep the 20. We'll keep it at 24 if it's only one less. As you move through the hills, pretty quickly, you spot an unusual animal path, like almost like a deer trail, but one that you know from your experience out in the wilderness, like these are not the tracks of an animal that should be in this part. Like, rather than like a deer, it's something like an elk or a moose that you see the tracks for. They stand out to you. They would be a good sign of, like, if somebody wanted to get a ranger's attention, this would be a good way to do it. And off in the distance, in the hills, you see a line of trees that also don't necessarily belong in this area. They look more like trees that you would recognize from Coriel, as opposed to necessarily this part of the... They don't look like they should be just a random grove of trees, right? They look like these thick, ancient trees.
Yeah, so there shouldn't really be trees on a hill. It's not like a corpse that would normally form. It's something that's slightly out of the ordinary.
Yes.
I will kind of wave back down the path to the rest and sort of signal up ahead, and as soon as they get within sight of the wood, I'll stay ahead of the group, but so that they can see me. Then once they can see the woods.
Okay.
Callus will follow him because he doesn't know where he's going.
You approach the grove, and you see, as you get closer, you see Eumenia sitting on a fallen log outside of this copse of trees. And she is she's just sitting there kind of weaving or kind of like doing some needlework as she waits. Seeing
Marco,
Go ahead.
Sorry, Mark's just going to step forward, and when he's going to sort of bow towards her. Lady, it's good to see you again.
She stands and sets her work aside. I see you found my path.
It did seem a little bit unusual out here.
I knew that would be a way to get your attention, or at least I had hoped it would be if you were a forester of any skill.
Wow. I seem to have got lost and found you the last time. I'm sure I could have got lost and found you again this time.
Are you regretful of the help that I gave you?
Not at all.
Well, shall we enter the grove? You can tell me of what happened. I only got bits and pieces from Vespasian.
Indeed. And he'll step aside there to walk in.
By this time,
It
it's
was
dusk, so
So, quick side note before we continue on here. As we started to see the grove, like when we get in distance to see the grove, Vespasian would have kind of talked to Ray and talked to Nethy and said, I think it's best that you both stay outside the grove. For purposes of Nethy, they don't seem to be too fond of the undead. And Ray just kind of look and tell Ray in front of Nethy, so that way you can keep Nethy company.
Okay, I'm going in though. I have questions I need to ask.
And yeah, Vespasian wouldn't. I mean, he's too exhausted to really stop anyone at this point from doing anything that they want to do. But he would look at you and just say, try not to piss her off. I've had enough of fighting beings from other planes for once in the last couple of weeks.
Okay. Reyna and Nethy, you stay with the wagon, and the rest of you move into the grove. So, tell me of what has happened in Riverdam Raft. You encountered my enemy.
Indeed, he was posing as the mayor of the town. We met up with the real mayor and struck a bargain to help him. Inside the city, we ambushed the false mayor, shall we say, in his office, and I wouldn't say we managed to overcome him, but we managed to drive him off and injure him. Kolok here managed to take his hand off.
Yeah, and then we scratched him up with it. It was awesome.
That was...
He he disappeared, so I'm guessing he used whatever magic that he has to flee. We've restored the Riverdam raft back to its rightful mayor. Unfortunately, Vespasian was injured, and we did have to get the clerics of Robin to remove whatever magic the creature put on him.
Do you know where it is now?
We're not entirely sure at this point, but there might be a lead or two that we could follow up on.
We do have other things to be taken care of first, though.
We should have a conversation of what it really wants with you, though, as we have may just turned its vindictive nature onto us.
It is that, and tricky. I doubt you could truly hurt it with its hand. Perhaps it was allowing you to do so simply to throw off your... throw you into a sense of false victory before it disappeared.
Maybe, but I know my teeth pierce flesh.
I am a guardian, a caretaker, as is my son, Racanian. We have been charged to protect a relic of the Elder, of Nadara himself. The Rakshasa desires it, I know not why. But I, as I told you, have sent my son off to hide it. He seeks us both out to discover where it is.
He also was interested in another item that we came across. And I kind of motioned to Talus to show him the horn.
Talus pulls out the fancy horn.
It's beautiful, but I don't know much of what that is.
It is an artifact of the Dragonborn Empire.
Her eyes widen a bit. Where did you get such a thing?
We were forced to strike the deal that the Rakshasa had intended to make, or else the city would have burned.
Long story short, the Dragonborn came by because the Rakshasa was impersonating the mayor, offering to help them as far as their future invasion of Oregon is concerned. So we had the actual mayor end up continuing on with the plan. Otherwise, the Dragonborn, because they didn't want anybody to know about the plan, were probably going to burn the place down. So they went ahead with the plan, and in exchange for helping them, they gave the mayor that, which we took.
That's a lot of plans.
That's very eventful.
Yeah. It's only going to get more eventful.
But they have agreed in time to help protect the River Dam Raft, which hopefully will afford the citizens with some protection and the Rakshasa from getting a foothold there again, as they will be able to guarantee it safety.
If it foiled its plans, then it will change its plans.
Yes.
Well,
Can't get too consumed into that. We have a lot of stuff that we got to worry about beyond that.
Yes, we should probably be going soon.
you may spend the night here.
It'll probably be safer here than on the road.
Vespasian looks at Tellus. Did you have questions that needed to be answered?
Yes, I understand that you despise my craft. I do not begrudge you this, but I have certain ambitions, and I require the insights of one who understands nature to a deeper extent than most. But first, how to phrase this? Nadara does not like the undead, yes?
The undead are outside of the natural order. Death is a part of the balance.
And what if one were to create a sort of undead that is not merely raising of those who have passed, but creating new life from death itself? What if one were to weave undeath into the natural order?
How?
Marik's looking a little bit confused as well.
I love my skeletons, but I understand that they are not individuals. They are extensions of myself. And I wish to give them more than this. Yes, I wish to give to them will and love and life, a sort of life. And I wish to There are undead who despise life. Yes, there are those who wish all would be like them. I do not want this. I want them to create life, to defend the natural order, to embrace all things. And to do this, to create a new kind of necromancy, a new kind of undead, I need to understand better the natural order, the way magic is weaved into life itself.
She kind of is balking at what you're saying, and that's not how any of this is. It's not how the balance works. That's
Bullshit.
That's not nature.
Bullshit. There's will in everything. Some things don't get to talk till you give them the ability to talk, right? Like a tree over here. Tree can't talk, but you can use your magic to say, hey, now you can talk. Now the tree has a personality. It's able to communicate, that sort of thing. I've seen how druids work.
It's different with undead.
Why?
Kolok, the natural order is that once life ends, Thandra escorts them across the river to the next life where they belong.
That's also bullshit.
This
Not in the sense that you're wrong, but in the sense that that's not everything. That isn't the end. Everything continues on in one way or another, not just in the terms of your soul going on to wherever the heck it's going to be going, but also in the sense that there is a cycle of what's here. When you die, you go into the ground. Whatever you are ends up getting eaten up by a whole bunch of different things.
Yes.
And then those things go on to eat, go on to live. They take you, what was you here in the physical, with them. Why can't you just give them some sort of will the same way that you do when you give it to plants and animals and shit that can't normally talk?
The plants and the animals are already coursing with life. I can awaken a beast's mind to gain greater understanding. I can awaken a plant in order for it to be able to have some semblance of intelligence. But that is not the case with undead. They are created through necromancy, outside of the cycle.
All right.
True life.
But do they have to be created outside the cycle? That is what I am saying.
I know of no undead that is created through any means other than enforcing your magical will upon the emptied vessel of something else, or through...
Which is why I need your assistance creating a new type of undead.
I do not
Something...
think that is possible.
It's magic. Magic can do basically everything, right?
You have a high view of magic.
I mean, I should.
Nadara...
Dance magic.
Nadara is nature, yes, and nature is change and growth, no?
And death.
And death, and life from death.
But
I...
undeath is not life. It is a mockery of life.
But it doesn't have to be.
That is a supposition.
Oh yeah, well you're a supposition.
I once knew a young monk who was very wise, more so than I admit. And it was his belief, his opinion, that for the world to function at its best, for us all to benefit the most, one must follow their instincts. Not blindly, but one must listen to their own nature to understand what they must do for the web of life. I have heard a symphony since I was but a child. I have yearned to see bones dance since before I knew to speak. This is my nature. I will continue to practice necromancy. I merely wish to find a way to do so without, as you say, imposing my will upon the dead.
If someone were to make a puppet out of wood, obviously there's no life to it, and the only thing that causes it to do anything is the strings that you attach to it. But you could bring life to it, could you not?
I could not.
Unfortunately, those are not the same thing as life. Even I know that.
And
Life
life wouldn't
is-
return from the across the veil without Thandra's say so. Unless
I
it
do
was
not
left there.
need to bring back the soul. I do not ask to rob your gods of you. I merely need the bones. There is memory there. There is something in the bones that can create a new life.
You have.
I know it.
There are a number of forms of undeath. There is the body without the soul. These are like skeletons you speak of, or zombies. There is the soul without the body, such as the ghosts and banshees that haunt the world. Souls that refuse to enter Thandra's domain, but remain here, clinging to life for some reason or another. There are vampires, those creatures of the dark that I'm not quite sure why or how they have the power and will that they do. There are some creatures that are so foul that necromancy has called them forth into powerful forms, such as wights. Undead that can create their own undead.
And specters.
It's in-
Mark's face is like quite almost angry.
Yes. But to create an undead that is not driven by the power of necromantic energy, the will of another, or their own evil hatred of life, I've seen no such thing in my time. And I have no idea how you would do such a thing. You ask, in some senses, to give your bones a new soul. And that is beyond my power. And I'm sure it is beyond yours.
There will be other druids. I thank you for your time, but know this. You have seen no such undead. I doubt even Nadara has seen such an undead. But there are many things that exist and will exist that we will never see. I shall find a way to tie my skeletons to the very core of this world. and I shall find a way to give them life like none have ever seen. And when that day comes, they will not destroy nature. They will simply be a part of it. And then Talus, just looking a little dejected, leaves the grove.
Your friend speaks blasphemy.
Yeah, who cares?
He wishes to see a true resurrection.
No.
He wishes to create life like every other creature on this planet.
He wishes
For that, I cannot blame him.
He wishes to create life from the dead.
So
Not,
He
not
wishes
to return
breathe in.
life. Not to return life to one who has died. He wishes to give new life to something that has met its end and is merely a rotting corpse.
right. Okay, I got it. We gotta find out some way to make Talus a god.
Wow, we got a bag of holding.
Kolok, I think that's you out with our capabilities as much as we want to try.
We'll
lady-
figure it out at some point. It's gonna be later on
lady-
down the line for sure, but good things come to those who wait.
In the meantime, Reyna, you're sitting reading your book when you hear a purring voice and feel a presence beside you. So, tell me about your day today. What have you all been doing?
I'm not talking to you.
That's very rude.
You cursed my friend.
Did I? It happens so naturally when I scratch someone who's trying to kill me. I don't try to do it. It's just a matter of self-defense, and then it happens. I'm so sorry to have done that.
Oh, well, I mean, at least you're sorry.
Is he better now?
Yeah, some rude freaking clerics cured him after doing some weird entertainment stuff. I mean, it was funny, but it was also very scary and weird.
The clerics of Robin, then.
Yeah.
Tiny little bastards they can be.
Yeah, I wanted to fireball them, but Merrick's like, no, don't do that.
Your friends have a weak stomach. So, child, tell me, where are you headed? You're no longer in Riverdam, it seems.
Nope. We are just stopping to see a friend, and then we're on our way to kind of like wage a war.
Ah, war and friendship. He looks up. Where is your friend?
Which one?
Oh, the one you meet with.
They're somewhere.
Have you been left out here alone?
I mean, it's not technically. Someone's supposed to be somewhere. I don't really know where nothing is.
The ghost girl.
Yes.
Ah. So you sit here by yourself while they're off, leaving you alone, away from everyone, abandoning you to be out here by yourself while they go and speak with this friend you've come to meet. Is that the case?
I mean, yeah. I mean, Vespasian just thought it was best.
Why would he think that? Does he not trust you?
No, he trusts me mostly, I think.
Does he know about our little arrangement?
I may have mentioned it just to him.
Ah, Well, it was bound to happen, I'm sure. But now look what you've done. You've left yourself alone and vulnerable. You surrounded yourself with these friends so you wouldn't be alone anymore. That's what your old benefactor had told me. He told me you needed to be close to your friends to keep them safe. And now, where are they? They've left you by yourself. Perhaps you don't need them anymore. Or perhaps they don't need you. Maybe.
No, they need me. This means it said so.
Are you sure? First he leaves you out here, while they go and visit with friends. The next thing you know, they leave you behind, alone. All because you told them about me.
I know, I shouldn't have, but last time I kept a secret, they got upset.
Well, now they're upset with you for telling the truth. What are you supposed to do then? Not tell them anything at all?
I don't know.
You can tell me the truth. I'll never leave you alone. Shall we teach them a lesson for leaving you here by yourself? For disregarding you to watch their things while they go about doing what they like to do.
I mean, what kind of lesson? Like a fun lesson?
They should know that you deserve to go with them wherever they go. What do they do without you? Why do they leave you here?
I mean, I think they're just concerned.
With what?
What I might do?
You would never do anything to hurt them, would you?
No, I wouldn't. I love them.
Well, then why would they have to be concerned?
I don't know. I guess they just don't really like how I treat other people all the time. Like those halflings that were mean. So, I mean, it happens.
Well, did you treat them in any way they didn't deserve?
I mean, I didn't mean to kill them. It was just you were in the city and I had to get you out. And then we ended up that whole thing, you know. But they just weren't really happy with that. So now they're just a little concerned with what might happen if someone does something that just I don't really like.
Like leaving you out here by yourself away from everyone else while they abandon you and go and have fun without you.
I know, I don't really like that.
Well, what would you do about it?
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. These guys are like my first friends, and I don't know how I'm supposed to react or how I'm supposed to show them that this upsets me.
Maybe you should go find them and tell them that.
I mean, Vespasian told me to wait in the wagon, but I mean, I guess it wouldn't be so bad if I just popped in real quick and just said I was getting lonely. Because Nethy doesn't really talk to me now because we're fighting.
Oh, that's so sad. You should tell Vespasian that you don't like it when he wanders off without you. I can go with you to make sure that you're not scared.
God, I'm trying to think of Raina's reasoning right now. Oh my god. I mean, I guess if you're with you,
we can teach them a lesson about leaving you alone.
Okay, I think we can teach them a lesson. I think that should be good.
Why don't we unhook the horses?
I mean, but would the horses be okay if I let them go? Are they gonna be fine?
Oh, you don't have to let them go. Just unhook the part of the wagon that keeps them attached, and then when they try to drive the wagon, the horses will move and the wagon will not. It'll just cause a minor inconvenience.
I mean, it doesn't sound too bad. I mean, as long as, like... I mean, I'm sure we'll catch the horses if they run off, so that shouldn't be too bad.
You can light the wagon on fire. I know how much you like doing that, but some of your stuff is in there, and perhaps they would be upset with you.
Yeah, I mean, the wagon's really nice, especially because, like, Gears, and she's gonna gesture, like, her little puppy, robot puppy, whose name is Gears.
Nice.
He likes the wagon, so we gotta keep the wagon. But I think we can do that with the horses.
Let me see. Do you want to get their attention now, so that you're not alone anymore?
Yeah, let's... I mean, I'm sure they're done with whatever they have to do, so they should be... Or they should already be out here anyway, so...
Why don't you light some of these trees on fire? Then they'll know they've upset you. It's your signature move. They could come running, and then you would have a bright, pretty fire, and all of your friends around it.
At some point during this conversation, Coldlock's going to start calling out for Reyna.
Talus is going to start walking outside at some point. He left the he left the conversation, so at some point Talus is going to walk outside. The Rakshasas...
Also, Neffy's been here the whole time. She's just not realized, and I assume that they're speaking in their heads.
I need to double check something about Rakshasas.
And then Vespasian would be laboring through his breasts, trying to talk to the priestess about this exact situation for the most part.
Yep.
And if there's some way we can control it, but we'll get to that.
So
if we get to that.
This conversation is probably happening out loud, but the Rakshasa is invisible.
Really?
Yeah, but the Rakshasa is invisible. So he's probably just, like, invisibly sitting next to Reyna and whispering to her.
In that case, I think Neffy probably would have spoken up at some point.
Yeah, well, if you're close enough to hear whispers, you might be able to speak up at some point.
Yeah, I mean, she would have stayed in the wagon with Reyna. I just think she would have not been materialized.
Oh, wait, let me double check something else. The Rakshasa... It has detect thoughts, but not telepathy, so...
Well, I think you have to look at it as the
He's
warlock
her patron, right? Yeah, so, like, he can probably speak to her telepathically.
Through planes.
Right.
I would say through planes.
Yeah. The Rakshasa's not... The reason the Rakshasa is talking with her is because... Just because he has the ability to communicate with her and gift her power does not necessarily mean that he is, he's not, like, omnipotent, right? Like, he doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, he probably could speak to her across planes because of their pact. So... Yeah, maybe the Rakshasa is just communicating with you telepathically. But then, eventually, Talus is going to walk out of the woods as he stormed off from that conversation.
So yeah, Talus comes out and he's you hear him just vaguely grumbling something about priestesses and Nadara and being closed-minded. And he's just sort of grumbly, and as he goes out, he's like, "Oh, hey Reyna, how's it going out here? Nobody ever listens to the necromancer. Everybody always says that it's unnatural and it's an abomination."
Was she mean to you, Talus?
She was mean to my boys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm just gonna go see if my gods still like me, and then we'll go from there. And he wanders over to a part of the clearing and starts drawing runes in the ground by summoning his flame blade.
Raina! You out here?
She will poke her head out from where she was in the wagon.
Damn.
Ah, good. Hey, Raina, I got a great idea. So, we were talking with the lady. Can't remember her name. Anyway, she kept basically telling Talus that what he wants to do is impossible. But, thought about something. What if we made it so that Talus can perform the impossible by making him a god?
I'd be all for it. That sounds awesome.
Right. So you're in contact. Your patron's some sort of like ultra powerful thingy about it, right?
Yes.
Yes. He
So-
thinks so, so I agree.
Since you talked to him, I figured you could figure out some sort of way for us to make that happen. Or at least your patron might be able to, like, I don't know, give us some clues or something. I don't know.
Well, he was just talking to me, so like, I think he's hearing what I hear. So I mean, and she's gonna like talk in her head, like, is this okay? Like, or should I still set the forest on fire?
Oh, this is more than okay. What can we do? Yes. Tell your friend here that I can help them.
Okay, he thinks he can help.
Great, awesome. So do we need to, like, kill a god, or can he just, like, slip into the Pantheon somehow, or...
Tell your friend that... Tell Kolok that I said we need an item of great power. Something crafted by the hands of a god.
Okay, well, he's saying if we want to make Talos a god, we have to get a super duper cool, powerful item that was crafted by the gods.
The hammer.
Hammer? What hammer?
Oh, it's a hammer that talked.
Yeah, the talking hammer. He said it was made by Thormodon himself, so...
That will work.
Okay, well, we gotta. Okay, so they think he says the hammer will work.
Great. So, well, that's gonna have to wait. We're still a ways out from even getting back to Reddenburg in the first place.
Tell your friend that... No. Yes. What do your friends know about me?
What do you mean? What about you? As in, like, do I tell him about you, or?
No, I need... Oh, you're too... I'm sorry, this question is beyond your means.
Stupid servant.
Simple yes or no questions.
She's blonde. I'm sorry.
Ask them if this thing is too far and will take too long to acquire, if they know of any other items such as this, and that if they do not, I may be able to guide you to one.
Oh, well, that would be really cool. Well, I can tell you that item's going to be a little bit away because we got to travel, and then, I mean, it's going to be a bumpy ride because, you know, especially if we want to still do the thing with the horses. But yeah, so Kolok, do you know any closer items, or should we still go over the hammer? Because he's like, the hammer's kind of too far, but he might be able to help us find something closer.
Well, I didn't expect that we'd be able to turn Talos into a god overnight.
Voila.
If it was that easy, everybody would do it, right?
Yeah, I know, it really does sound too good to be true, but, like, my friend is, like, super awesome.
There's a priestess of Nadara who knows of such an item.
Oh yeah, we're here. She's here.
Oh. Well. You should ask her where it is. Or perhaps tell her that it is necessary that we acquire such a thing. Have Kolak do it.
Kolak, so he's saying that it might be best if we really want to make him a god, and I mean, I think we should totally make Talos a god, because like all the other gods I'm not a huge fan of. And
Hey, careful. I'm still more
Sorry,
than Wurchper.
Sorry, your god seems cool, because I mean, she kind of somehow indirectly brought me to you and Vespasian, so like that's cool. But the priestess that we're here to save, or we're here to talk to, she has an item, or like knows where it is. I shouldn't go ask, he says, but he said you could probably ask and find out where the item is, and we could use that.
It's probably that thing she sent off with her son.
Where is her son? Find out where her son is.
He's saying we need to find the sun, and the sun can help us with that item, and then we can make Talos.
I have no fucking idea where the sun is, neither
Ask
does she.
her. Force it out of her.
He's suggesting force, but last time I tried to do something like that, Merrick and like Nethy got all upset.
Nah, that's too much trouble. Even if she did know, what if he's like, I don't know, on another plane of existence, or all the way on the southern end of the continent? We got shit to do. We can't be running around trying to find her kid. Look, the hammer will probably do. We'll be back in Ridgeford in the next, like, I don't know, few weeks. And then we do our siege. And then we ask for the hammer after it's all well and done.
Fine.
He said fine, but he doesn't seem too happy with waiting.
Why is he impatient all of a sudden? This is our thing, not his.
He's right. I'm sorry. I just was very enthusiastic about the idea of helping your friend.
Well, that's really nice of you. And she'll look at Cole. He's just like super excited for us, and he like really likes helping my friends. So he's.
I mean, it does make sense. If he helps Talos be a god, then that means a god's indebted to him. So that's not a bad situation to be in.
Yeah, so he's super cool with it. So he's like sorry that he was being a little impatient, but I think he's super excited for us.
I think you should burn the forest down. But that's only because this priestess annoys me.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, but Merrick did tell me before I burn stuff down, I have to get his permission.
That's an obstacle we'll have to deal with.
Maybe Kolak's permission will work. I can ask him, but I don't know if he'll say yes either.
By all means.
Kolak, my friend's saying since he's gonna help us become a god, though, because of everything that's going on, I do have to burn the forest down, if that's okay.
No, I'm pretty sure that'd probably piss her off.
I know, but he's
And if the hammer ends up not working, then we might need to double back and talk to her and see if there is some way to track down her. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out, and that's not going to be good for negotiations.
Is she helping you?
Is she helping us? She's gonna ask Kolak because Raina doesn't really know.
I mean, she's providing us a place to stay for tonight.
Oh, is she letting you guys stay? Do I have to stay out here, or are we all gonna stay out here?
I don't even know why you're out here anyway.
Oh, Vespasian thought it was a good idea.
Why?
He doesn't like you anymore.
No, Vespasian still likes me.
Oh, right. He doesn't like me.
We'll work on that. I mean, I think you guys can be okay friends. Because Vespasian likes me and trusts me mostly, so he should like my friends.
We won't light the forest on fire, just let Kolak know that It would be fine for you to sleep inside, and you're not sure why Vespasian told you couldn't. I promise I won't do anything untoward.
I don't know what that word means, but I'm gonna tell Kolak that it's okay. Kolak, okay, so he said, Forrest, we don't have to light that on fire. He said he's gonna be patient and we're gonna be okay. But he does think it's very sad that I have to be out here, so if you can tell Vespasian that I should be A-okay to be inside, that'd be great.
Fine. I don't know why you can't just... Why can't you just tell him yourself?
Because he told me to wait
He's
out
your
here.
captain.
I know, but he told me to wait out here, and I can't be bad and ignore that order.
Vespasian!
How far away are we?
You're probably like a 5-minute walk into the forest. Like, it's not far. It's like, you can hear him. It may be distant,
It's cool.
but
It's
you can hear him.
Kolak. We
It's
can hear
Kolak.
him.
Yeah, it's cool.
You can hear his snoring from across the
That's fine.
tavern.
Well, while all this crazy donut thing is going on, I don't even know what this is anymore. He was gonna try to talk to her.
Okay. So we'll switch over to that
Well,
conversation prior to you hearing Kolak call
Yeah,
to you.
because I wasn't sure how fast we're gonna burn down the forest, but I feel like
Yeah, so while Kolak is having this conversation with Reyna, you can tell me about the conversation you're having with Eumenia.
So yeah, when we get a second, I look at after Talos kind of storms off. I'll look at Eumenia and it's like, "Do you have a second to talk alone?"
You're here for that.
Yes. And he kind of just puts on a sly grin and directs her kind of as a walk, like a chasing walk. And as we walk, the Rakshasa, well, we were able to render it inert in Riverdam Raft to where it felt the need to flee. Did unfortunately still grab its claws into our party.
How so?
I do not mean the injury that I sustained.
No, I didn't think you did.
One of our number has been, unfortunately, somehow cursed in some other manner, where he now has his own beguiling influence over her.
What do you mean?
They have some kind of communication, not one that can be...
And you brought this to my doorstep.
I figure who better to deal with it than you.
I've been dealing with it by remaining hidden from its sight, and now you have brought it to my home. I should have known better than to trust you.
Well, you were the one who plagued us with it in the first place.
I told you to avoid it if you went to Riverdam Raft. I warned you that it was there. I didn't tell you to confront it directly.
Well, unfortunately, we had no other options.
But then...
And as you know your enemy better than I would, I'm asking you in good faith now if there is a way to limit its influence. If
you
not...
want to limit its influence over your friends and your party? I do not know how you disconnect this creature from your ally. My suggestion is that you get as far away from her as possible, or you kill her the next time you see her. But as for now, you and your friends can leave my grove immediately. You should have told me this in your sending, when you responded. rather than coming here and bringing it to my doorstep. It is probably trying to find a way to figure out my demise as we speak. Do you understand that if it gets its hands on the relic...
The issue is you had sent your son away with the only thing that drew him here. And as you have told us you have no idea where your son's location is, I figured as a priestess, you could be one of the ones to help remove such a creature from our friends.
If it knows where I am, it will harass me or murder me. For the remainder of my days, it will follow me and haunt me. Do you not understand that it could sneak in here in the middle of the night and but lay a scratch upon me, and I would suffer the same fate as you?
I am all too aware.
And you brought it here. You brought it here. I did not want to trust you to begin with, but your friend Merrick made it apparent that you were good-natured and could, in some way, be trusted. I was a fool. All of you need to leave now. My suggestion to you is that if you do not wish to be under the influence of this creature, you will get as far away from your friend as you can, if not kill her outright. And I say this with a heavy heart. I do not say it to you out of anger or spite. I say it to you because there is no escaping this creature unless you find your way into the hells and kill it there.
Well, I am disappointed that you see it that way. From what I can already tell, it is haunting you. And you did not warn us of the curse, which had plagued me. But, as you wish, we will leave you.
I warned you to be careful, and that it was there. I didn't expect you to confront it face to face. Perhaps I should have been more forceful in my warning.
Well, whatever you see fit. I think we will leave now.
Oh, how gracious
I'm
of you.
sure you will move your grove, and maybe, hopefully in time, we will see you again. But if you do come up with a solution to limit its influence and pass it along, we would be grateful.
I need to speak to Merrick. If you will send him to me, please.
By all means. And Vespasian kind of bows out, kind of walks away, finds Merrick. Merrick, she has summoned you. She wishes to speak with you alone. But when you are done, meet us outside the grove. As I do not know if we are welcome here any longer.
At this point, Vespasian, you start hearing Kolok yelling your name.
Yeah,
Fine.
Vespasian takes a deep sigh and starts walking. And still happy.
Raina will yell at Kolok, not too loud, he's still recovering. As she's also yelling back.
He doesn't have a hangover. He can handle a little bit of yelling.
Definitely still half speed though, so it's gonna be a while there, bud.
Merrick, you easily find the priestess if you go looking for her.
Lady, you called for me.
Yes. I need to inform you of some things I'm not sure if you're aware of. You seem to have a good heart and understand the ways of Nadara. You have strange company, a necromancer, an undead. And now I've come to discover that one of your own has come under the influence of the very Rakshasa who hunts me, and that your leader decided it was best if you all brought my enemy to my doorstep.
Lady, it's not something I know of. Did he say
I
who?
did not think you were aware of it. That's why I am telling you.
I would not have brought the creature within 100 miles of you if I had known.
He did not say who it was, though I do not think it's you. I believe he mentioned something about her.
Well, that narrows it down.
Be wary. You are in constant danger, and I will recommend to you the same thing I recommended to him. Leave her behind, or end her life. If she is under the influence of this creature, I fear that ending her life would be a mercy. For only terrible things can happen to her and those around her under its influence. Do not, by any means, listen to any suggestion that she makes that comes directly from this creature.
I understand. I will confront them when I return to the group. Everyone should be aware of this.
I have demanded that you take your leave, and I do so to you too. Your leader seems to think that it was best if they go, after I instructed him that they must. He is a vain and haughty man. Be wary. He lacks judgment.
I cannot disagree with you in this matter, and I wish he had spoken up before now.
The beast that you travel with...
I will try my best.
She nods. The beast that you travel with, though he is a noble warrior, he is brash and angry. He too lacks judgment. I fear that if their intentions are good, their path will stray in many different directions unless they have someone who can be of level head and good guidance. And I think all they have is you.
It's always been my job to guide those that are lost. Perhaps a bit more forceful guidance is required.
I'm sorry that it has to be this way, for you seem to long for the company of your kind, and places that remind you of home. And I feel that this is one of those places.
It is the closest I've had to home in many years now. And I'm unhappy to leave on these terms. But lady, your safety, if this creature is nearby, can you get away?
I can move my grove nightly. I do not know if I can do it now. If you can move your friends away from it, I would be appreciative.
I'll see to that as soon as I return to them.
Let me give you this. It will perhaps help you in the event that the thing returns in force. And at this point, she's walked back to her little cottage that's in the midst of the grove with you, and she goes inside. And when she comes back out, she hands you a vial. This potion will protect you from its influence, should you need it. But it can only affect one. So give it to whoever you think is best. It only works for a short time.
I have some additional insurance now that we can injure the creature.
Understand that it takes a long time for me to craft these potions, and this one was meant for me in the case that it came here. But if you're traveling with someone under its influence, you'll need it more than I do, at least for now.
Then I hope you're able to make another one soon.
It will take some time, but I will.
If you can move and move with speed, and I wish we meet again under better circumstances, and that you stay safe.
Thank you.
With that, Marek, I'll take the potion and sort of bow towards her. I will remove my friends, and hopefully you can get away.
I hope so as well.
And I'll turn and begin to head out of the forest.
Okay.
Kolok, what is it?
Right, so, Raina's wondering why the heck she can't come inside.
I thought I told her it was that way she could keep Nethy company as she is out here. And I was afraid that if Nethy had entered, she would have been banished outright against her will.
Well, Nethy's not even talking to me.
So I guess Raina came with me.
Well, I thought you were shouting from where we are. I don't know if you actually.
Well, okay. Raina, is that what he told you?
Yeah, but I think it was because of another reason.
Okay, what's the other reason?
She's gonna do like a zip lip motion.
Oh, what the hell is this? We're keeping secrets now?
I mean, I just don't know if she's gonna unzip her lips before she speaks again. I just don't know how you're gonna react to the secret.
I don't know, probably my usual way. Yell about it for a few seconds and then just kind of move on.
That's fair. And she'll look at Vespasian like, should she tell him?
At this point, I don't think it matters, as the one thing I tried to do failed.
What are you trying to do?
I was trying to help you. I was hoping that maybe talking to this priestess would be able to give us some insight on how to limit your friend from giving you any bad influences, and so that we could all be friends together.
I mean, you were off to a rough start, but I think he's really nice to me again. And he was really excited to help Talus, so I mean, I don't think he's bad to any of my friends, but I know you don't really like him, and it's kind of weird.
Well, he does have violent tendencies, and I know that you also sometimes have tendencies, and I was just trying to make sure that maybe he didn't push you further than was necessary.
Well, I mean, I would never hurt you guys.
I'm not entirely sure your new friend sees it the same way, as I've never been able to have a conversation with him myself.
How far behind this conversation is Marek?
A few moments. Did you see the message I sent you in chat, Marek, in Foundry?
Yep, okay.
Okay. Yeah, you can come into the conversation soon after this. It wasn't that long, and Vespasian takes a long time to get out of the forest. You don't.
And yeah, a long time to talk.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So, what is this secret you're keeping from me?
I think Merrick should come out of the woods as Kolok asks that question.
Yes, and perhaps it'd be better if I spoke up at this point. Tell us, hitch the wagons, we're leaving.
And
At which
what is
point,
it
where are you
Spending
going
the
to...
night here.
No, we are not. We are moving. At what point were you going to tell us that the person that's giving you good advice is the Rakshasa that we fought?
Huh?
Vespasian, apparently you knew this. We have brought the priestess's enemy straight to her. We are leaving now.
Well, wouldn't it make more sense if we stayed to protect her?
Unfortunately, no, as
She
the
wants us
enemy
as far
is
away from here as possible.
tied to
Okay.
Rain.
All right. Hold on.
Wait.
Let me get this straight. Raina, your friend that you've been talking to is the... For fuck's sake. The Thing.
I mean, only recently. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna ask in my head if he's still there. I'm like, do you have like a nickname or like a shorter name I could give?
Tell
to
us.
Kolok?
Hitch the wagon.
He doesn't.
Talos was like over in the corner. He was setting up to commune with his gods, and he looks over like, "Oh, how do we leave? Okay."
He doesn't answer.
And he
you,
goes over to the wagon.
Rena.
Oh. Well, he's not giving me a nickname, but only recently did he become the voice of my head. My old friend is now him.
Okay, so the one that told you to burn down Riverdam Raft was not the...
Rakshasa.
Sure.
I felt it wasn't best to tell the group till we had a better handle on the situation. And
Oh yeah, just the thing that we almost killed, that it has every reason to be mad at us, is now talking in the pyromaniac's head. We'll just keep that under wraps for now.
it's these exact reactions of why I kept it from you all.
Oh, it's the fact that we would be mad if you kept it a secret that made you want to keep it a secret?
I did also ask him not to tell anyone because I didn't really want to get yelled at.
Well, then you're both being silly. Look, okay. Look. Here's the only thing. If I would have known, I would have said, "Hey, maybe let's not go over to the priestess' place." That's all I really give that much of a shit about right now. But on top of that, stop fucking. Is there any way that you can just like stop having him be the voice in your head? Like pick someone else?
That is why we came to see the priestess in the first place. I was hoping that she would have some
If she knew
insight.
how to get rid of him, then she wouldn't be hiding from him.
No, but maybe she had a way to stop him from finding her, and we could also apply that to Ray.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but see, I kind of need him to find me because we talk because he gives me my powers now. So, like, if I...
Well, then find someone else to give you your powers.
Well,
'cause
I
that's
had
bullshit.
to find a stronger demon than him to either bully him out of his contract or just be like, take me out of the pity of his heart. I don't know. I didn't really ever really read the contract.
Does it have to be a demon? Could it not be like something else? Like, clerics use gods, right?
I mean, I've already committed this much to being like, with demons. It's like they've been pretty chill up to this point.
And
Well,
truthfully, this Rakshasa still hasn't done anything to us as of yet to dissuade it.
Apparently it was trying to get her to burn the forest down earlier. She asked me permission because he wanted her to do it.
Other
So
than the
was the
fact,
last
also
one.
once it gets its hand on an artifact, I think getting anywhere near any artifact would be an exceedingly bad idea.
Do we even know what
that's
they
too
do?
bad, 'cause we're gonna be getting some.
You hear a scream from the center of the
shit.
grove.
Oh, for fuck's sake! And
I turn and run.
Off.
Yeah,
I follow
Talos
at it.
Talos runs back to the grove too.
I'm following.
you all run into the grove, deep into the heart of it, where her house is. When you get there, there's no one there. The priestess is gone. There is outside of her door, the door is slightly open, and there's a watering can that has been dropped and fallen over. The water spilled out over the floor, and she is all over the ground, and she is gone.
Any blood?
Nope.
I'll start looking for tracks on the ground.
I'm
And I'll
scream in my
look in
head.
the door, look in the door of the house as well. Cottage.
Ken,
I'm gonna scream
you
in
can
my
make
head to see if
investigation
we can-
rolls.
Hey, are you there?
Yeah,
Did
I
you
mean,
do
look
something?
around.
You
But
hear
I'm still at-
no response, Rena. You
What?
you're searching. It's slow going in the like in the clover and soft grass that makes up the flooring of this copse of trees. Marek, you get the sense that she has cast Pass Without Trace on this whole area for her own safety. It's making it difficult to discover any tracks or signs of what happened. But you eventually do pick up on clawed feet, the impressions of them. As I said, it takes some time, but you find it. They're moving.
Kolok, this way.
They're moving out of
Right.
the forest. in
Be
the
my
opposite
bloodhound.
direction.
I'll start following them.
Vespasian is going to spend his investigation looking around the cabin, because he's going to be well behind these guys.
Yep. You get there well after they've gone. You're looking around the cabin, and you just find a staff that's leaned up against the wall inside the door. It's knocked over as if it was being grabbed for at some point. But otherwise it's a tiny cabin. There are dried herbs hanging. There's it looks
Yeah,
like
he's looking around. He'll probably grab up the stick, kind of use it to help him as a walking stick, because he doesn't have one of those at the moment, and he's
Sure.
still pretty beleaguered.
it
And
thrums
just using it more.
as you're using it. Like you can feel it thrumming with some kind of power as you're using it as a walking stick.
Yeah, he'd be kind of feeling it, but he's still kind of out of it. He's looking more for letters or any indication of what was going on.
Sure.
Like, so now Vespasian before saw her as neutral, but after the whole like you should probably kill her and very selfish attitude she had, Vespasian also has a very kind of self-centered. I mean, to be fair, yeah, Vespasian was a dick, but
And she
neutral-
had a full right. She had a full right.
Vespasian, he sees that he's like, you let us get into this, you could have warned us further and you didn't, and then you let me get here, and then when I ask you to help my friend, instead you think of yourself selfishly and something that you haven't told us anything about, and then you decide that, that the best thing to do would be leave her or kill her, and like Vespasian's like more about his people and she's not his people.
Yep, I get it. Like, you can have Vespasian has his view, right? Like, that doesn't mean that it's Like Vespasian has
Yeah.
his view, she had her view, right? Like there's a difference between the two.
Yeah, so I'm saying that he's not very concerned. He's just more concerned with what she was. That's what he's trying to piece together.
Sure.
Like who she was, what, like if there's anything like that. For
Okay.
clues.
Well, then I will get to what you find in the cabin as you're searching it, because
you
you'll be
can-
behind them. The rest of you are tracking these footprints, which move into the forest.
I've got my fucking glaive out, and it's on fire, providing a little bit of light as well.
Okay. You move through the forest, searching, and oh, where the hell did that go? I need. Okay. The footprints come to an end. About like several minutes out of you following them, they just come to a complete end. You don't see anyone around. And then Merrick, you look up, and in the distant sky, you see a figure flying off away from the grove.
Does it have wings?
Nope.
Okay.
It is a humanoid form flying.
Does Merrick point it out?
Yeah.
Nephi will try
There,
to follow
Nephi.
it if she can.
I think I can't see the other. That's humanoid. What it is.
Yeah. No, it's in the distance, right? Like, you'll be behind it. You're moving at an investigating pace, trying to follow these tracks to get to it. And essentially what's happened is, well, you were outside talking, it did whatever it did, and then it ran off behind the house and away on the opposite direction that you were all coming from. You came to the house, you investigated, you followed its tracks. The longer you followed its tracks, the further ahead of you it got, and then it cast fly on itself, and it is flying away. So it has quite the head start on Nephi. You can follow it for a while, but it's going to get further and further away from you, I think, Nephi.
Didn't I thunderstep?
Damn it.
Can thunderstep 90 feet. Let's see. It has a fly speed of
60 feet if it's a fly spell.
60 feet. Yeah. And you would have your normal movement speed to fly. So I think you might be able to get close enough to it with a thunderstep to at least make out that it is the Rakshasa that is flying away.
So would it be plausible to thunderstep 3 times and then fly towards it?
Yes.
Because I have. So in that case, I think Nephi, you freaking out, would say, "I'm sorry, Talus," and try to possess him.
Trying to possess the Rakshasa?
No, Talus.
Oh.
She needs a body to use her spells.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think she figures he would probably mind the least.
Okay, so you are possessing Talus. He's already told you can do it whenever you want, I think.
Yeah, if Talus feels like he's about to get possessed by Nephi, he's just gonna let it happen.
Okay, because you don't have a fly speed when you are possessing a person.
Right, I'm gonna thunderstep like just straight ahead, like in his direction 3 times, and then I can start flying up, right?
Oh, and then leaving the body and starting to fly
Yeah.
up? Okay, yes, I will allow that to keep up with the thing. You create 3 explosions of thunder. It's an action to cast?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's an action, so you can thunderstep, move 30 feet. Thunderstep, move 30 feet. Thunderstep, move 30 feet. So
And
you
as a when I leave his body, also as a bonus action, I want to establish psychic connections just so that I, can talk to him if I'm far
Sure.
away with
Sure. You can get till you can follow the Rakshasa out pretty far and then start flying to try and catch up to where it is. And
I'll continue running after them this whole time, just in case she does manage to bring him back down to the ground.
Yep. You start. I still don't think if you're on the ground, like trying to fly up to it, I don't know that you'd be able to catch up to it because it still has a 60-foot fly speed. So it's still flying 120 feet, right? So like if you were already behind it and you teleport forward on the ground 90 feet and run to 120, and then it moves 120 feet up and away from you, and then you thunderstep again and run forward, you're still following behind it on the ground, but then you have to make up the distance from the ground up to where it is in the sky. And if it's flying at an upward angle, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's still getting further and further away from you while you're
right, and it's still going. It's not like
it's ascending. It's not trying to like lead you anywhere. It is dashing while flying.
Well, could I get close enough to at least establish psychic connections with him?
Yes.
Then I will do that.
Can you quicken spells? Because you could
what?
potentially go.
None of our spellcasters have the fly spell.
Well, even with quicken though, she could.
Can she thunderstep twice around? I also don't know how much.
Just thunderstep. Use the round to dash. Use an action to dash.
Gotcha.
And then
and then
quicken the thunderstep so that she can do it as a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Do you have quicken spells?
I do.
Okay. How many times can you quicken thunderstep?
I can thunderstep 3 times, and I have 8 sorcery points.
Okay.
I can use sorcery points to get more spell slots, so I think technically I actually could have more thundersteps.
Right, but what he's saying is if you thunderstep, run, and dash, then you're thunderstepping 90 feet and running 60 feet, right?
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So, if you do that...
does gain some ground on him, at least.
Yeah, if you do that twice, right, you're moving an extra 30 feet faster than him for the first 2 turns, and then you can thunderstep, leave Talus. Oh, leaving Talus, I think, would be a bonus action to unpossess a body.
Cool.
I'm trying to figure out the math. It's more abstract.
Yeah, sorry,
than
I know
that,
it's
right?
confusing.
It's fine. It's more abstract than that. It's been running away from you guys longer than you have before you've caught up to it, right? Like before you've had the time to start catching up to it. I think it's going to get away no matter what, and the only one who can possibly catch up to it is Nethi, right? And you can definitely get close enough though to establish telepathic communication with it.
Then I will do that.
Okay.
And I'll say, hey, stinky boy, you like having fun, don't you? Why are you running away?
Oh, you're in my head now, are you? I do like having fun. And I'll continue to. I'll see you soon.
When am I going to see you?
Sooner than you think. But
Well, I'm thinking right now, so you better come down like extra right now, because otherwise you're actually not.
Shall I do what I did to Vespasian to the rest of your friends?
You can do it to me if you'd like.
Do me a favor. How far can you use your how far away can you use your what's it called? Your telepathy?
6 miles in 6 hours.
Okay. But how far away do you need to be to establish connection? Do you just need to be within sight?
I believe it's in sight, but let me double check. Yep, it just needs to be a creature I can see.
Okay. Do me a favor. Make a wisdom save.
I don't like this.
If you have advantage against being charmed, then you get advantage. Otherwise, it's just a wisdom save.
I don't think I do.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
That is good. It calls down to you from where it is. I suggest you go home, girl. And you just make the save.
I suggest you leave Raina the hell alone.
I'll be sure to do that. And then it flies off.
Was it close enough in sight that Nethy like noticed if it had blood or anything like that on him?
It did not have any blood
carrying
on
a
it.
body.
It was not carrying a body.
I've got a theory about
that. Raina, your book dematerializes.
Wait, what? No!
And we'll end it there for now.
Why don't you each
boy?
What's your theory, Mike?
that it's cast plane shift on the priestess and sent her somewhere. And
Yeah, that was my theory too.
The problem with that is that plane shift only works on willing people.
No, it doesn't. You can use it as a spell attack, as a touch attack on an unwilling creature. And if they fail their save,
that's true.
they end up randomly in a spot on a plane of your choosing.
That was my biggest fear when we were facing it the first time. Is that he was going to do that to me.
I was going to do that to someone, but when you had it surrounded, he figured that the best course of action was to just get the hell out and then do something later. So yeah.
Bandit of a creature.
We'll do some favorite moments. Today was a bit of a janky session, I think. I'm sorry for that. But let's start in the middle. Let's start randomly in the middle. Mike, what's your favorite moment for Merrick?
Probably coming back out the woods and ready to actually deck the lot of them.
Yes.
For keeping secrets. Mark's not happy.
Yeah, I feel that.
I think a lot of us are not happy right now.
No, I realise that. And I think there are words with Vespasian about to happen.
Sorry, not trying to be a dick.
Kolak goes to Vespasian. I don't think I make the best decisions. You should be in charge. Vespasian, I'm not going to tell them about this.
He says where he's just like, I said that I don't make good decisions, so I'm going to hand you the reins for a bit. Yeah, taking the reins back.
No. I'm taking the reins from now on. Sorry.
Man, the reins thing.
Two sub-lieutenants
have to use them, so. To be fair,
He was exhausted, and Raina told him. So I mean, he was kind of out of commission for a bit. So
yeah,
Right.
excuses.
I'm just saying. Oh, he probably would have done the same thing because he doesn't see her as an ally. He sees her as someone who is selfish because all she wanted was her own things, and she never promised anything good to the group. Like the Dragonborns are an army, so Vespasian sees a use. He doesn't see a use for her, and therefore.
Stop trying to justify yourself. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying what the character thinks. That's he's gay. No one said he was a good guy.
I have to say I'm kind of enjoying the I like the fact that each of you know your characters well enough to know how they would consider the events of this, look at the events of this situation. That I really like that. It means that you've really thought about your characters. So my favorite Merrick moment, I will say, was definitely that moment as well, of him coming out of the forest and having words for everybody.
Oh, that's not finished.
For sure. We usually get like exasperated Merrick. We rarely get an actual angry Merrick.
Can I also throw in the Merrick moment when we were with the priests of Robin and Raina made Merrick hold Talus's hand and he was like, "Of course you'd do that."
Raina just wants everyone to be friends. That's it.
Oh yeah, the amount of talking down to the priest of Robin on everybody's part was pretty entertaining.
I like that Merrick is the one who's like trusted by the priestess, and like the moment that and he's like literally the only one really. Like Kolok's kind of an asshole to her. Fucking Vespasian, she probably despises right about now. Raina, she was somewhat indifferent towards, probably a little, and now she's like, well, I mean, if she's the one that the Rakshasas latched onto, maybe kill her. Talus, obviously heretic. Nethi, undead abomination. Merrick, fine. But the moment that she finds out about all this, she's like, all right, you're the only one that I actually like, even kind of like out of everybody. So, just letting you know, the Rakshasa's here. Your friend didn't tell you. Now Merrick's just in this position where the people he's been traveling with, his friends, quote unquote, have basically fucked over someone that he likes.
Yep.
It's like everybody else gets to have nice things, but not Merrick.
Well, I might have lost my nice thing, so I...
True.
We'll see. We'll see.
I've got nice shiny swords. I might be getting them put to use sooner rather than later.
Not on Raina, right?
Oh, there's a list.
I think we got to work on the undead hammer talking list, and then we're just helping Merrick get, big bad guys he wants to go kill.
Yeah. We're giving him an antagonist list.
Yes.
That he can start going through.
Well, he does have a hero complex.
What about Emmy? What's your favorite Raina moment?
Oh my god. I think I have two things. One was like the low-key stuff of like Talus and Merrick holding hands and like Kolok carrying Vespasian and making sure that stuff happened. And then her conversation with her patron is always super fun and traumatizing to me. So it is always a favorite moment.
Watching you squirm in your chair is probably like the best thing ever.
It doesn't help that Dio's over there just like egging it on, being like, Raina's been a naughty girl. Is this
I know. It's like two things. It's like I should just mute chat. I shouldn't even look at it because it's like I know Dio's there.
You and Dio should not be around each other during game times, and that's hard because you're both in the same game on Mondays.
I'm like, just wait, Monday you're gonna be awful.
I loved the who's on first-esque conversation that I ended up having with Raina after she got done talking to the Rakshasa. It was so much fun with her just like avoiding saying who her patron is while he's like giving her advice, and he's just like, yes, do this, no, wait, yes, no, yes, burn down, just burn down the forest. And she's like, can I burn down the forest? No. Like this. Like, this is the evil, like, mastermind Rakshasa here, who has chosen Raina, of all people, to manipulate, and it's just not going well.
No, he just got frustrated and was like, I can't fucking work with this thing, just burn everything down.
She's trying her best.
I honestly could not believe that you guys decided to, like, that Vespasian was like, Raina's got the Rakshasa. and the
Let's
Rakshas's
go
enemy.
let's go to the lady that the Rakshas has been hunting for
Honestly,
centuries.
part of player me just thought it'd be kind of fun, and
And it was.
Oh my god.
we also, got to give everyone kind of some kicks in. See that
Oh,
we're gonna be on
that's
the
so funny.
road, nothing fun happening.
Things can't go smoothly for you guys. You're the Chaos Crew.
Sorry if I angered
Yeah, we're kind of
anyone.
out of the fireball into the firewall.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that Ray was gonna ask me when I came out of the forest if she could fireball things. I was really hoping.
Sorry, I already asked Kolok, and I figured like your mom and dad. So if I got no from one, I'm not gonna get a yes from the other.
My two dads.
Yes.
You got
My two war
daddies,
dads.
two daddies.
Yoakum, your favorite Vespasian moment?
Getting stabbed by Fluffy Teddy, getting stabbed by a blade and cuddling with a bunch of fluff toys. That was great.
My favorite was when you told the priestess it was your idea to leave.
Yeah. I think
like, I think
we
it's
should be
best.
going now.
I really love Vespasian being like, I can walk. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm just imagining like tired Vespasian, like, guys, stop. Listen to me. Why doesn't anybody listen to me?
Other Vespasian moments?
I loved his argument with Kolok when he was, when the cat got out of the bag that, the cat was controlling Reyna. And Vespasian was like, well, I just didn't want to tell you because then you'd be mad.
I do love that. He's just like, just like, you kept this a secret. This is what you decided to keep a secret. This thing that's like kind of important for everyone to know. And he's like, see how mad you are? This is why I didn't want to tell you.
Dad, don't get divorced, please.
It's like a no-win situation. Just like, say, I knew you'd be mad. That's why I kept it a secret.
Happens.
Oh, fuck.
Alex, your favorite Kolak moment?
Probably arguing about magic, even though he has no fucking idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Or she's just like, that's not a thing that can happen. Bullshit! Magic is magic. You can do anything with it. No, that's not. That's not how
it works.
All right, fine. Then we're gonna make Talos a god so you can make new kinds of magic.
Yeah, that was my favorite
I'm
Kolok, where he goes up and he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna make Talos a god. I'm like, okay.
That was so good. And he was just like, oh yeah, we'll get the hammer. Duh. Great.
I love how Kolok was just like, okay, so we're gonna turn Talos into a god. Reyna, does your patron have any pointers?
Look,
just like,
Kolok
could you
is
ask
extremely
real
supportive
quick?
of his friends. He is incredibly supportive of his friends. Anything that they want to do, he wants to make sure it happens.
I also just loved how aggressively he defended Talos.
Don't hurt Talos' feelings.
You guys
don't deject him.
You guys are like the bad guys, right?
I think.
It's questionable. It's starting to get a little.
We're anti-heroes.
You gave a city to an invading force of Dragonborn, and then your plan was to hand over a holy weapon to Reyna's fiendish patron in order to make Talos a god of undead.
Look, this is how it goes. So, you know how some people say you gotta spend money to make money? Well, in Help Wanted, you gotta cause problems to solve problems.
Other parties are going to hate us.
Oh my god.
We're going to turn into the major antagonists for every other campaign in Oregon.
They're gonna get rid of.
I don't think most of the other people would want to actually kill us. I think because, like, for the most part, we're pretty pleasant when you get to know us.
You're going to we're gonna end the Demon Lord story arc with them being banished, and then the new villains are going to be the Help Wanted crew coming to their full power, except for Merrick, who's gonna be going around like, I need help, I need help, I need help.
They're really nice. I swear to God, you just get to know them.
Really nice guys.
They're the reason for the Dragonborn invasion? Yeah, but I swear, if you just talk to them for a bit.
I saw a tweet yesterday where somebody said, they're really great once you get to know them is the equivalent of it gets better in season 3, and I just don't have time for that.
That's how put it.
Oh my god.
I don't think it's going to get better in season 3. I think.
Are we gonna live to season 3? Look, all I know is once the Dragonborn War starts, Kolok's gonna be at the fucking helm of it.
I'm just, you know.
Kolok wanted to help the Dragonborn get established so that he has a reason to go to war with them.
Yeah.
Fiona, favorite Talos moment?
Oh, I mean, definitely. You can tell, I hope it comes through, how much Talos would just like everyone to understand that necromancy can be cool, actually. It doesn't have to be evil, come on.
Necromancy can
just
be
help
cool.
me out here, I'm just trying to make some funny skeletons.
I just want to make some goofy skeleton folk.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite.
Skeleton people.
I
just
think it would
want
be great to just have the skeletons have a will of their own, and that will is wanting to spread love of music to everyone in Oregon.
Yes.
I want to make people not afraid of skeletons anymore.
I just want
No
my
more.
skeletons to be able to have a life of their own. You know, get married,
Skeleton
have skeleton
lives
children.
matter, okay?
I know. I kind of want Talos to move from an instrument to like his spellcasting ability be through a clipboard with a sheet of paper and a quill. You're like, can you take? Do you have time to fill this out?
Yeah.
He goes out to necromancy, and what is
He
done for
goes
your
to a
life?
graveyard and just says, a quick census here, and then all the skeletons in the graves rise up to fill out the forms.
Oh my god. You need to find out about Grovair. I need to get that information into Talos's hands.
I mean, if you give it to him, it sounds like he sure will want to go there.
Yeah. Do you
Oh my god.
do you know about the 1 quarter in Grovair?
I don't. I only know that Talos needs to go there, apparently.
There is an entire section of the city of Grovair where the citizens have been turned into undead. They have their own personality. They've retained their personalities. They've retained their livelihoods. They've retained that section of the city. And yet they are undead creatures with a will.
Oh yeah, he needs to go to Grovair.
Oh god.
Can I also throw in for my favorite Talos moment was when he was coming back to the wagon, just grumbling to himself like, "Oh, stinky priestess lady doesn't like skeletons. I'm gonna go make sure my gods still like me."
He was so mopey.
I did like teenage stroppy Talos.
Talos was throwing himself a pity party.
This is kind of this whole leading the Rakshasa to the priestess thing. This is basically the equivalent of on Team Elf's part anyway, of Sentry just beheading the fucking mayor.
Yes.
Like it really is that.
You guys really killed the mayor on this one. Seriously. Technically, the priestess would be the mayor of her grove, right? So, this is just par for the course.
Yeah, this counts. This counts as a match.
We gotta go down to the Nine Hells anyway and find Reyna a new patron, so that's part of the.
We'll just knock door to door. Would you like to become my patron, please?
It
We
will
have this
be a
covered.
hard sell. But look, she's going to be involved in raining absolute fucking hellfire on the Dragonborn. Are you down with causing that? Because she'll do that.
Vespasian is holding a magical shepherd's crook, by the way.
Oh god, I don't even know what that means.
The staff.
Neither does he, probably.
You know,
Yeah.
You know what a shepherd's crook is, right?
The big
Nope,
old cane
I
with the
actually
hook on
don't.
the end.
It's a staff with the
Well, I
like.
know what a shepherd's crook is, but I don't know what if it's some.
Oh
Crazy
no
magical item.
no! I was asking you literally, not like 5th edition D&D question. Like, do you know what a shepherd's crook the thing is?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So okay, so yeah, that's what you're walking around with right now.
yeah. I don't know.
Oh,
That's basically.
Just never figure that out.
That's the magic item he was hunting the entire time.
we are using Foundry, not Roll20. This is Foundry. It is a awesome program. It's a one-time thing that you pay for instead of having like a monthly fee. It's housed on your computer and not on the internet, and then your players can like log right into it. It's pretty neat. David said what Vespasian really needs is a vaudevillian hook for when the party are engaging in shenanigans.
So you just pull us off stage.
Zoe, your favorite Nethy moment?
I mean, it was definitely getting to call the Rakshasa stinky boy.
Yes.
Right into it.
Yeah, I love how childish the insults are. It's super
Swear,
fun.
though, she said hell.
That's true.
I will tell you that I really liked how much, like, in spite of the fact that her and Reyna have been fighting, the thing she yelled at the Rakshasa was to leave Reyna alone.
Yeah, that was not entirely expected.
She still cares about Reyna. She's just a little.
I mean, yeah, she does hang out around Reyna a lot.
Yeah.
She just doesn't make herself known.
I know, that was like super like kind of sad. She's like, oh yeah, she's here, but she's not saying anything. Like she's not saying this. It's like,
It's so
oh,
bad as well. You're still throwing shade at Lucy. Way back at when like you know, the voice out of nowhere. Lucy sucks.
I was actually legitimately worried though, bringing Nethy in there. I was kind of concerned that that lady is just gonna dissipate her. I don't know
Honestly, she might have.
what level spell do you need? Do you know for Nethy? Like what level spells affect her as undead?
I mean, a cleric could use turn undead on her at the moment.
Yeah.
But it depends on her CR.
I mean, it would still affect her in some way, but the lower the CR, the more likely it is it'll just straight up destroy her. But it wouldn't destroy nothing. It would just turn her.
Okay.
Do you know?
I just wasn't. I wasn't sure, so I was like, be best because I don't know exactly if she was a druid or a cleric either.
She's a. Oh, was she a druid or a cleric? That's a good question.
Well, she's probably dead, so what does it
I'm
matter?
assuming she's a cleric, actually.
Yeah, you said
Oh.
priestess, so I was like, yeah. Best to keep the undead out of a place where someone is literally on a warpath to make sure no undead. As we see a mini version in Merrick, I'm like, whatever this more powerful.
I can't
version
turn
is.
undead yet. Just give me a couple more levels.
I know. You're gonna be a
Leave my
Speaking
skeletons
of
alone.
levels,
I'm going for the puppy every time.
So mean.
I think I know why the Rakshasa abandoned Reyna, by the way. It's because he's done what he wanted to do. A, fuck with us. B, found the priestess.
No, it's because I called him a stinky boy.
Yes.
that's
yes.
and you called him a liar for not coming down. That was also a great moment. If you don't come down right now, then you're technically a liar.
My favorite moment as DM was screwing with Reyna.
Isn't that your
I'm
favorite
glad.
every week?
I mean, it kind of was a close with that and playing the Priests of Robin. That was kind
The
of
Priests of
that
Robin.
was
They
really fun.
both great moments.
Yeah, I liked the Priest of Robin as well. They were really good.
Yeah, Mark, you got a lot of RP this week.
I did.
I I loved how you played. I keep forgetting the Priestess of Nadara's name.
Oh,
Eumenea.
But just
Eumenea.
how she talked with Talus and how she responded to learning about the fact that the Rakshasa had influence over Reyna. It was
It's
just
fine.
very good.
It's fine. She's dead now, so what does it matter?
A lot of good DMRP.
She's dead
I
now.
was super fucking surprised that you brought Rita in.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I knew she was there at Riverdam Raft. I didn't know whether or not she would become like an actual thing again.
Right.
Because when she left us, she was not a big fan of us.
She's still not a big fan of you. That's why I tried to make it a point that she's only doing this to find out what happened to Wilhelmina, because Wilhelmina, she got word that you guys were in town, and Wilhelmina was not with you.
Yeah.
But no, she's definitely not big fans of you guys.
Yeah, we can add.
We like semi-extorted her. We were like, we did save your life. You could probably give us some payment, you know.
Yeah, that did
Well,
happen.
I mean,
You're
yeah.
the bad guys, Emmy. You're the baddies.
I'm realizing
Are
that we
these
don't
the
really
bad
have a lot of friends.
Like, the only reason Kolak wants to start shit with Redenburg Fortress is because he thinks they're bigger bad guys than he is, and he can't have that.
Yeah. And then after that, the Dragonborn are bigger bad guys than he is. Can't have that.
Yeah.
What about the spear? Let's focus on the spear.
Look, the spear is a part of it.
Mark's actual storyline for us that can take a back seat. We got a lot of things to do
Yeah.
right now.
Look,
We're gonna
as
get the
far as
spear
we
once we
know-
take over
as
everything.
far
We'll
as we
find it.
know, the spear might be in Redenburg, but if it's not, then the clues as to where it is are also in Redenburg. So,
To be fair, though,
two
this
birds,
could
one
be
stone.
a sweet magical item to make Talus a god, so we forgot about that. That's technically also.
Well, we don't know. I'm honestly assuming that the fucking Rakshasa was like lying. He just wanted to find an artifact.
I mean, probably.
Who knows?
But we can still find a way to make that.
Yeah,
Listen,
I'm
you
still
think
going to find-
you
I'm
think
still
it's
gonna find
the
a way to
Rakshasa?
God.
Think the Rakshasa can
Talus
make
is still
himself
going
a
to be a god. By the end of Help Wanted, Talus will have ascended.
Screw it. Let's just put another dimensional portal into the Barrel of Holding, and then we'll just quickly.
Enon
Plain
Voltimar
shit
2,
and-
Talus Boogaloo. Oh, God. Alright, guys, well, this was entertaining, to say the least. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. And we'll see all of you out there in Chatland next time. Are you guys all good for next week still? That is
Yep.
the day before New Year's Eve.
We are.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
Then we'll be back next week with Help Wanted, and I'll be back in a couple of hours with the Dance Macabre, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
It'll.
Bye.
Where the heck is my stream ending screen? There it is.